World at War. That's our Tuesday night Scion 2nd Edition Chronicle here on Dire Bear. And when we left off last week, let's see, where do we start?
Oh.
Let's see, Duba's character, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I've got Duba and Rap in swapped windows.
Oh, I was like, did you just realize his name was Robert?
No, it's just I realized he was not Jaden, and there he's sitting. I'll have to fix that in a second. Anyway, so Robert was catching up with the party, only to get apprehended coming through the door because they had left him in London while they ventured to Cairo the previous session. The band was re-infiltrating the dig site that Robert was at, however.
Excuse me.
Managed to finagle their way into this. It's not a tomb, but it's underground area that they were excavating. They had a little fight with some higher security and a couple of obvious wizards. Parties reunited. They discovered this staircase ladder. It seems to light up when it comes into contact with Sasha's blood. Nothing disturbing there.
Or just Sasha touching it, because I don't think she cut her hand last time.
No, she
no.
She
Fritz
simply touched it.
Fritz Lloyd had used your blood to like activate it.
Yeah.
He was the one that took your blood, put it on his hand so he could climb.
Yeah.
In his defense, he thought it was gross too. But needs must when the devil drives. So he had escaped prior to the party quite catching up with him. He had escaped up the ladder. The party pursued him up the ladder. Into the overworld is kind of the generic term for these sorts of realms. But into an Egyptian realm of travel, I guess you'd call it. It's not really a place anything lives, but things travel through it. Like, Ra and his sky barge. Once there, they had a conversation with a cat who doesn't live there but likes to come there and sun himself periodically. Sweetness. And I believe Jaden had picked up a trail.
Yes.
Now I'll take just a moment to move windows around so everybody. It's very strange because I called y'all in the same order as always. I don't know what happened there. But all right. Duba is Robert again, and Rap is Jaden again, so that works. All right, so I believe y'all were traveling through this desert or following a trail.
Walking through it, does it actually feel like a desert? Like walk, talk, like sun in my face, like skin cracking and all that?
It feels like you're walking through a desert.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, everything you mentioned. But it only feels like it. You walk for hours, but it still really only feels like you've been walking for about an hour. So the skin's not really cracking. You're not really getting sunburnt per se. But as long as you don't pay attention to the passage or lack thereof of time, it feels like you just stepped out and started walking across a sand dune or whatever.
Okay. That's hilarious. To just continue on. They probably have like a bottle of water that they've been drinking. Not like but just every now and again sipping.
Well, remember, climbing the ladder felt like it took you days, if not weeks.
Yes, that's why they're drinking water. But this is baseline.
So, of course, Jane has picked up the trail, so her and Spruce are probably out in the lead.
Mm.
As you travel, occasionally off in the distance, you'll see other travelers. Usually walking, sometimes with animals. You're pretty sure you saw at least one chariot off in the distance. None of these people's path
Cool.
crosses yours. None of them seem to pay you any attention.
Yeah.
You see Ra's sky barge or sun barge go by at least once.
You describe that for those of us who are not in tune with Egyptian mythology.
The Egyptians, as best I recall, pictured it a lot like the kind of barges they used on the Nile.
Okay.
And the sun was
Just
essentially
to
the
the
one.
sky?
The sun was basically the one Ra rode across the sky in. And then
Gotcha.
at night he was riding through the underworld, and there'd eventually be a big fight with crap. What was that guy's name? Apophis.
Are we in Pet or New? Because if it's Pet, it's kind of a swamp land.
Okay. I may be getting two of them mixed up then. You were not in the underworld one. You were in the...
Oh, there's New and Pet, which are the two overworlds.
Mm-hmm.
And then Duat is the underworld.
Okay.
Pet is like a giant freshwater swamp.
Okay, so it's more like it's more like a part of Egypt close to the Nile. Okay, yeah, I get this confused with something else.
It's like he's pretty much like it's for the life cycle of Ra, is born in the reeds and then sent out on the barge.
Okay. Well, excuse me then. We'll say the desert at the edges quickly gave way to this swamp then. Yeah, what can you do?
Well, it's better for Tularis. They're not straight up dying of thirst. That's another question. If I don't necessarily feel the passage of time, if I'm drinking water, do I just keep drinking water, or does my bottle eventually deplete?
Well, your bottle never depletes, but you lose track of how much you've actually drunk, so you're not sure if it should be depleted yet or not.
Sure.
Have you been sipping out of it for hours, or have you been sipping out of it for days?
Yeah.
That's a little. It's a little distorted. Everything feels a little distorted in that regard.
Sure. That's totally cool.
Of all of you, Jaden probably notices that the least, as she would be focused on following the trail.
Tracking. Yeah. Tularis is just gonna take 10 steps, take a sip of water, look around. Oh, look, nice marshlands. Just keep drinking water.
Think of the huge crocodiles they could have. Interestingly, though, you don't see any crocodiles. At least not on your side of the shore. Periodically, on the other side, and I say shore as there is a river running through this.
Sure.
But periodically on the other side, you see what looks like a settlement or a house. Mostly the kind of homes you'd expect to see in ancient Egypt, though you do see one or two that have a more Greek vibe to them. But Fritz Lloyd's trail never veers towards any of those or towards the water.
Sure. Arguably, if it was a swamp, it'd be much easier to track versus the desert.
Well, what tracks he leaves would probably stick around longer.
Yeah.
Anyway, some of these settlements or villas or whatever they are, with some of them you do see animal. You do see crocodiles lounging by the water and other wildlife, up in and around the place. Where y'all are traveling, it looks swampy, but you're not seeing any birds. You're not seeing any crocodiles. But eventually, Jaden, Smith's trail comes to an end. It's been traveling parallel to this river, as much as, moving around obstacles or whatnot, but more or less moving north as much as there's a north here. Following the way the river flows, anyway. So if this is a stand-in for the Nile north. But you lose this trail when it goes up and then it cuts towards the water.
She's gonna look at Sasha and be like, "Can we even go into this water?"
Are we not waiting in it?
I mean, it's probably swampy, but I doubt we're like dog paddling.
Yeah.
No, I mean, his trail goes into the water. That's it. I can't keep going further. This is where it stops.
Does it go over? Does it go under? Do you know?
I can check to see. What can I roll to check?
Oh yeah, go ahead and give me a whatever it is we usually have you roll for that.
Survival cunning is what you did last time, I think.
That sounds right. But I play too many games, so I always have to check the skill list.
3 successes.
All right. All right, so you start poking around the water's edge, and up under the water, you can see, you can see where he started stepping into the water, leaving big footprints.
Well, it looks like he's walked in the water.
Before the water gets deep enough that it would be over his head, though, the footprints stop.
Then he swam.
I mean, he'd have to theoretically cross, right?
I just don't want to get in trouble for doing this.
It's not.
Okay.
She just like starts walking out. Like,
It's most likely if we explain the situation to any deity, they probably understand because they probably don't want to be dethroned.
Oh yeah, Set's a perfectly reasonable guy.
Polaris doesn't know that.
Then let's go swimming, guys.
Sure.
And,
Smoochums is all about this ideal.
oh yeah, Smoochums is probably like ahead of Sasha, just like.
Though
and,
that does bring up a
wrap her
question.
Arms around Smoochums.
Hippopotamuses don't really swim per se.
He's probably like doing a little bit of this and then like bouncing along the bottom.
Yeah, but this river gets pretty deep, so
He's
on the other hand, he's not as much hippopotamus as hippopotamuses are.
Yeah.
So the crocodile and cat parts of him could swim.
the crocodile part's probably like trying to loaf, and the cat part's like.
I'm just picturing the hippopotamus back end, pointing towards the bottom, so he's just kind of bobbing there.
The way crocodiles swim, they kind of like loaf, right?
To a point. I mean, either way, he's probably making his way across via some kind of weird magical Scion animal bullshittery, probably.
Whatever it is, he seems to be at home in the water. However the biology works. I mean, spruce don't mind the water.
And he's guarding the entrance, once and all that.
Guarding
so
an
he makes
entrance
it
of
a little-
something. It's in his
Maybe.
blood.
Being around water is fine with him. Or at least,
Just
The
spruce can
rest
dog
of
paddle.
y'all need to give me. Oh, probably let's go athletics and stamina
For what, swimming?
Right.
for swimming.
Don't need to.
He's gonna run on the water.
No, I don't have to. I can just walk across it.
Oh,
Wait. From epic dexterity?
That's the innate power of epic dexterity.
I don't need to swim either because I do have epic dexterity.
Let's
y'all
say,
better fucking help Telarius because they're about to drown.
say unless Sasha,
Was it stamina athletics?
Yes.
Yes.
let's say unless Sasha says we need to actually swim, as opposed to just walk across
Or
it.
if she's
Because
aware, we don't really need to, like.
Say-
Yeah.
let's say in that case, Connor is just walking on top of it.
Basically. Oh no, Hilarious is the only one sinking.
Somebody get hilarious. Some,
Hi guys,
like,
I'll see you in
thing.
therapy.
Mm-mm-mm.
Gets down far enough and like lands on smoochums or something.
I mean,
No, he gets down far enough and suddenly he's not in the overworld. He's in, the other.
Oh no.
He just sinks
Yeah,
down
do it.
to the realm of the dead.
Mm-mm.
Whether or not they're dead.
Telarius manages to get about halfway across before he starts giving out. They're in pretty good shape, but they're not long distance swimmers.
This is all for show. This is not made for actual function.
I would say, are they next, like, near Connor? Because he's kind of just walking along with the group.
They're doing the Bob thing. They're about to drown pretty soon.
Connor just reach down and grab him. Just, like a wet cat out of the water.
They're just like this.
And then they start shaking themselves dry. But all the rest of you manage to swim across just fine. You're good and tired by the time you get to the other side, of course.
So
Once you get to the other side, you realize there are a few crocodiles sunning themselves.
Please talk to.
And
Do we
they
need to,
are
like,
big old
parlay
boys.
with them?
Well, and or girls. It's hard to tell with a crocodile at a distance.
If they're sunning, it's best to just leave them be. If they want to talk to us, they can talk to us like the cat did.
Give them a respectful distance as we walk by.
Mm-hmm.
One of them cracks an eye open and the eye kind of follows you.
Follow us. Does it need to do that though? I thought the eye just does like the reptile thing where it just goes.
That's what I'm saying. You walk by, the eye's following you, not the.
Yeah. But you like did the snout thing. I was like, wait a minute.
But it didn't care enough about you to actually turn your head once you pass that aside.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to the side of shore. Jaden picks up the trail again. And you realize you're in one of those like villa estate sort of things you've been seeing. There's buildings off in the distance. As you kind of come up away from the shore, the swampy land is giving away to farmland. All the fields like they're being irrigated from the river. There's people working, raising some kind of grain. You think you see cotton off in the distance. There's a vineyard.
A vineyard? That's awfully Greek.
You're right. The Egyptians were into beer. I'm sorry. Probably some barley then.
Hereford, if they're, there's like a random Greek dude here, just like stomping on grapes or something.
Nobody seems to have noticed y'all's presence yet.
Mhm.
You don't really see anybody wandering that looks like security or anything.
Do we see anybody like at all?
Oh yes, you see people working the fields.
Okay.
People walking around doing stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, screw it. Sasha's going to go up to one of them.
Okay. He kind of gives you a look, and he kind of looks you up and down as far as your clothes go.
Excuse me, has anyone come out of the river aside from us recently that you have seen?
No, not that I've noticed. Though I haven't been paying close attention.
Okay. Hmm.
Did y'all swim across?
Yes. Well, mostly, yes.
He does spot a couple of dry ones. The couple of you that are dry.
Like trying
Well,
to think of what to ask. Like we've been traveling for a hot minute.
What
Kinda
what
does
what,
look-
what brings you to
Go
my
ahead.
lady's estate?
We are looking for someone who may have come to this realm by questionable means, and we are unsure of their intentions.
Well, it'd be foolish for anyone to try anything here.
I'm not disagreeing with you there. You said your lady's estate. May I ask her name?
I serve the goddess of Set.
Sasha's like, score!
Connor just looks over at Sasha.
Is she in, or is she busy?
I'm not entirely certain. I just work the fields.
I understood. Thank you.
Of course. If he tells you if you keep going, you'll see the large house. It'll be pretty obvious where the main house is. There'll be someone there that can help you, I'm sure.
Us.
Our house in the middle of pet. Okay, well, over half of us look like drowned rats. We've been traveling for what feels like weeks. Shall we continue traveling?
Let's do it.
As well.
It's the weirdest road trip ever.
No kidding.
Next road trip, take your cars.
Let me just drive this car up the ladder here.
We're just gambling that if the water bottle never ran out, neither will the gas tank.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's like Schrodinger's gas tank. If we don't look at the gauge, it's never empty.
Gas.
Well, it's both empty and full at the same time.
Yeah.
God. I'm just sitting here. I'm just gonna go. It's like the orcs.
Yeah, it is.
Ugh.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. Did you fill up the tank? Of course I filled up the tank. Engine starts again.
What kind
Sasha
of dumb question is that?
motions it. We'll just head for the large house. Come on.
Is the tracks going towards the large house?
Yes,
Where
they
they're-
cut
yeah,
right
where
through
they're-
here. Well, y'all veered off a little bit to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Fritz Lloyd obviously did not veer over here and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Rude.
I was gonna
How
talk to the
rude.
locals. What kind of asshole?
I know, man.
Maybe he just knew where he was going.
He's the kind of person that doesn't return their cart to the corral.
Honestly, the
Probably
worst
didn't
offender.
rewind VHS as he was returning back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
The absolute worst.
yeah.
Okay. Following the tracks, making our way.
Either way.
All right, so y'all continue traveling on. A few of the other workers notice you and wave, but they don't. They don't quit what they're doing to walk over and talk to you. You know, unless you make some kind of signal for, if you wave them
Also,
over or
just
something.
make sure to wave back politely, but not like wave over.
Yeah, politely saying hi back.
Southern thing where if someone drives by and does this, you just do that back.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Sasha, give me a cunning, I guess, occult.
I've got dice in this.
Hey,
I say that and I'll roll a 0.
please don't.
Oh, nope, 4. Does it have anything to do with death and or spirits?
It does.
So she
Oh,
gets an extra dice for that because that is her speciality.
5. It's an enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everybody you've seen so far is dead.
That's fair. That's fair.
They seem to be okay
there
with
we
it.
are.
Okay with it.
There's none of that confusion you get when you talk to the recently deceased back home. In
Okay.
fact, something about the nature of this place that doesn't jump out at you as quickly as it would have back home. You're actually talking to it for a minute, then it clicks for you. Wait a second. Are any of these people alive?
She's gonna keep that to herself for now. Because I mean,
think anyone here is gonna have like a fit over it.
Really, Vincent?
oh, should we just kind of side mention it? Just be like, oh,
No, you're my camera cat today.
everybody's dead.
Should we be worried?
I'm not entirely sure. This is my first time visiting here.
Huh. Okay. So we like popping in on your mom? Or are we following tracks or what? What's happening?
She's still following, probably Jaden, who's following the tracks.
Just imagining a set pops out and goes, "What are you kids doing?"
Talking Wolf in the chat said our volume's a little low, so I bumped that up. So if anybody watching, let me know how it sounds now.
Can you hear our dulcet tones now?
Can you hear us now?
Does it sound like I'm on old time radio?
We're all crazy and I love it. This is all.
That should be a little better anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all are walking along. Sasha let you know that you all see dead people.
Mm-hmm.
To the rest of you, they look pretty normal. I mean, they're definitely dressed in ancient style clothing, but
That was expected.
yeah.
An Egyptian overworld do as wait.
Okay, so even Sarah sounded quiet to me then. What
I
was it you
was
said?
quite quiet.
How am I now? I was being quiet intentionally-ish.
Now I can hear you.
All right.
You're still probably the quietest person, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I was house sitting and something weird happened with my settings. I'll fiddle with them while I'm hanging about here.
Okay.
But how close are we to the house?
Assuming y'all kept walking, y'all are just about there.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
And as you get deeper in, there's more people moving around. There's more buildings here than just the house.
Hmm.
There's something that looks like probably the servants' quarters over to one side. Like they have their like separate buildings, separate houses, not just a branch of the main house.
Well, you're all show. I'm just here trying to not, break things.
And another god.
Yeah.
probably takes a lot to offend. Well, she just kind of keeps walking and goes up, looks for like a main entrance or someone near a main entrance.
All right, you find the front house, front door or whatever.
Hello?
Yes, a man steps out.
Hello. We were following some tracks that led us to here. We're curious if there's a gentleman by the name of Fitzloyd Smith here.
No, we don't have any visitors that I'm aware of.
Oh, that's concerning.
He's looking at some of y'all that are still dripping. Did you travel across the river?
And from the mortal realm as well. As did this gentleman, and his tracks led to here. But you say he is not here.
He goes, no, let me ask around. Who are all of you?
Sasha will just go around and introduce everyone.
Hilarious Moriad.
Does
I'm
Sasha
Connor.
start with herself or end with herself?
Probably just ends with herself.
All right, his face lights up when you say your name.
Concerned Kill Bill Siren back of head.
Oh, you're one of the ladies' children. Yes, please come in here. Let's get you dried off.
So kind of like follow and like motion everyone to.
I'll walk in.
You
Are they
must-
speaking Arabic or are they speaking English or common or whatever the hell it is? Or is it like
It
for some
doesn't
reason that I
sound
understand
like
them?
it doesn't sound like Arabic to you. Not that Hilarious necessarily speaks Arabic, but you've heard it.
I've heard it spoken before.
This definitely sounds different from that, but you have no trouble understanding him.
Okay. It's like the tongue spell. Got you.
Kind of, yes.
Everyone's been patched in.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you concentrate, you can still tell what it is he's actually saying, but the meaning
Uh-huh.
comes across.
Sure.
It's like Babel fish.
Sasha, you're probably pretty sure it's some sort of ancient Egyptian.
They're speaking hieroglyphs.
Yes, the
Amused
word
me
bubbles
way
above his
more.
head have little pictures.
It's like that amused me way more than it should have. I was just like, bird?
How do you pronounce
Ironically.
that? Let me get some water real quick.
But anyway, so this guy ushers you in at this point. He calls from some other servants that run in with towels and stuff. So the rest of you must be the band from he thinks for a second, Nebraska.
Yes.
I'm not terribly familiar with the New World.
It is a bit a ways from here.
Oh yes,
It's a lot to take in sometimes. And I'm being understood as I speak, yeah?
Oh yes.
Okay.
He's understood all of y'all as well.
Okay.
So, Lady Stasha, did your mother know you were coming?
And no one is aware of our arrival or our travel plans, no. It was a bit last moment.
Well, you did say you were following someone. Is this a friend of yours you're following or a troublemaker?
Very large troublemaker.
I see. You said his name was Fritz Lloyd Smith?
Yes.
And what does he look like? Yeah, he gets a description from you. He calls in. He's some guys that do look like they may be security. They're the only people you've seen around here that are like armed.
All these folks are dead too.
Yes, you have not seen a living person here yet.
If
Fantastic.
Sasha looks at us, I'm not saying this because Hilarious would know. If Sasha looks at us, are we dead?
You don't know. Only Sasha knows.
Does Sasha no does like they ping different.
Yes, yes. You can tell glancing at your buddies they're still alive.
I want to be dead, guys.
Mm-mm-mm.
Again, the contrast is not as obvious here as it is back home.
Yeah.
But anyway, he sends he sends the security off to ask around to see if they can find this guy. Now, he doesn't seem particularly worried. Like, he doesn't think there's really much chance this guy could do anything to really mess the place up.
Well,
But if one of his lady's children says this guy's trouble, then this guy's probably trouble. You know, we're gonna put our hands on him.
Rated E for everyone.
Get out of my head.
I hear
Uh,
wee.
So they get you dried off. They get you dry clothes. It's clothing that fits in with the motif everybody else is wearing.
Could we keep these?
Oh yes, I see no reason that you couldn't.
yeah, it's not every day we are in the what is this, the overworld?
Yes.
The domain of a
You
set?
traveled here through. What did we decide it was? Did we decide it was Pet? Y'all were traveling there. Yeah, I believe it was Pet. Y'all were traveling.
Yeah, if it's the like domain.
Now this estate, like many private estates, the gods own is sort of its own little thing, but all realms are interconnected by pets. So.
Mm.
All right, well, if he's not here, where could he be?
That is concerning.
Well, the estate is fairly large. I mean, it would not be impossible for a man to hide, at least for
I
a
mean-
time.
I can see if I can pick up his tracks again.
If you wish.
I'll just-
until I'm given specific orders to
like-
the contrary by a set herself, her children have the run of the place, when they're here.
I'll just click a little footy seamless onto.
5?
Yeah, I was gonna
successes?
click on that, so that's 7.
Oh, okay. 7 successes.
I was halfway through saying it before you rolled.
Oh,
All
sorry.
right, so you go back outside. Now in your Egyptian garb, which is pretty light cloth, pretty loose fitting.
Yeah, for the heat to at least be breathable.
Breathable,
Perfect for a
but
shapeshifter.
does cover up, a fair amount to keep the sun off you.
Perfect for a shapeshifter. Sorry, shape changer.
But some quick poking around, you pick up the trail. With the trail, you had followed the trail up to the house, and you kind of got distracted by the house. Well, the trail runs around to like a back door in the house. You might even call it a servant's entrance.
Mm.
Well, if we do find him, this is back in the house. If we do find him soon, Dad did basically give me a fairly potent weapon that he's gonna be using. So
My only concern is it may not work here, being as this is another Pantheon's realm.
is it like just us in the room, or like who else is in the room with us right now?
Nasor, the guy that met y'all at the door, he's still
Okay.
with you. He's following you around. Got to be there in case Lady Sasha needs anything.
Players would be
She's
there.
very uncomfortable with this. Like just not just kind of like awkward, like.
But right now, he just seems happy to meet you. He doesn't seem nervous around you, like, oh, it's the boss's daughter, nothing like that. He just seems genuinely kind of excited to meet you.
Well, See, I'm not entirely sure, Sasha, because it's not so much a thing that's specific entirely to our pantheon. It's something that everything with some kind of divine power has to deal with.
Suppose we'll find out should we encounter him.
Guess so. He'll go to that number his dad was using.
You still get
And
cell signal up here?
it is like, hey, do you still get cell signal in the Egyptian overworld? Or no, he said in the Netgear overworlds.
We don't hear specifically. In some of the others we do. It depends on the individual owner's preference. Lady Asset tends to use this as her quiet getaway spot. When she wants, somewhere with some quiet or somewhere to study.
Right.
Turns off all the social media.
Puts the phone
Now,
away.
one of Ra's estates, on the other hand, has Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah.
Eh,
So
travels.
Carter would put the phone away. Darn. So I might need to get him back into the world before I can do it.
We'll find out. Are
Guess
we,
so.
are we all following Jaden?
I assume so.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
they followed around
I
to the
mean,
bridge.
if not, she has spruce, so it'll be fine.
I would assume we're all following, like, Scooby-Doo ganging.
Scooby Dooby Doo. Sorry.
And we opened the door into the servants' area to continue to look for this bastard.
All right, do y'all go in? Do y'all go in the side door, or back door, whatever?
Right.
Might as well.
All right.
Let
So you walk
him
in,
attack us on
and this
estate. See how
this
that
connects into what looks like the kitchen.
Hmm.
And there's some folks working in there. One woman steps over to you. Can I help you?
Did a gentleman come in here a short time ago? And Sasha's looking around trying to see if everyone in here is dead or alive.
Well, everybody in here is dead.
She's going to be pretty much doing that anywhere we go now, just kind of... She figures if he might be able to change his shape, but he can't hide the fact that he is still living.
Unless he
As far as
dies.
she knows. Unless he dies, unless he gets murdered.
But anyway, you'd asked her if she'd seen somebody else come in here. Oh yes, a pale fellow.
Ask where he went from here.
Because as you say, it's pale fellow. She kind of looks over at Robert and Connor.
Connor just grins.
He came in here asking for that Adele woman. Or her husband. Either one of them. He didn't seem picky.
The Adele woman. Is she around?
I want everybody except Sasha to give me a cunning. Let's see. Empathy.
Finding empathy?
Yes.
I don't know if that's it.
2 successes.
Cunning.
Kind of wisdom saving throw bullshit is this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got 1.
We're at 5
Momentum.
momentum. We're at 5 momentum.
Woo!
Well, I at least got 1.
So when she mentions the Adele woman, Sasha super focuses on her,
Uh-huh.
which is why she didn't get to make the roll. That and Nasor is standing a little bit behind her. He doesn't quite do the super obvious, but there's definitely a shake of his head, as he's looking at the head cook, maybe. You're not really sure what her position would be. She seems to be the one in charge back here. And she looks at him a little puzzled, and then it's like she really kind of studies Sasha's face. It's like, So what was Sasha asking her?
Is the Adele woman here?
I don't think she's in the house currently. She may be off running errands or something.
And her husband?
Very quickly change the subject.
Long-term deed might be complete.
In 84 years!
Back in my day.
He might be. You would need to check the library. That's, if he's in the house, that is usually where he's working.
And where might the library be?
Oh, she tells you, it's upstairs, and and the Sora's like, oh yes, I can show you the library.
And you can show me the Adele woman and her husband.
Oh, certainly. I mean,
It's
yeah,
like-
once we find where they're at.
While you're doing that, I'll keep following these tracks.
Sasha like visibly conflicted, like this first.
No, if you want to go see,
This first.
Which of this is she referring to?
The Finding Fitzloyd.
Okay.
I don't believe anyone is going anywhere. So I can always search them out if they're doing chores and such. I'm sure they'll return to the house at some point.
That Sora's like, well, the library's just upstairs. It wouldn't take but just a minute.
I'll catch up with you all then.
Going with
She's-
you.
All right, how are we splitting the party? Because obviously the party's
We're not going. We're not going anywhere, even in your mother's domain by yourself.
All right, let's all go meet Dad.
All right, so is everybody going upstairs?
Yes.
yes.
Or is Jay going to stay downstairs and keep looking for tracks?
That's Bruce sitting on the tracks, like this is where we stopped.
Gonna roll a dice and see what she does. Nice.
Call
Low
odds.
she goes, high she keeps tracking. 12, so she keeps tracking.
All right.
Connor's going to attempt to make a doppelganger.
Okay.
Not sure how it's going to work here, but he's going to make the attempt. Nope.
The gods say nah, bro.
Yeah. No successes, so no doppelganger is made.
Yeah, while all this is going on, there's a couple of younger children that were working in the kitchen. While y'all are talking, they have snuck over with like some, scrap pieces of meat, and they're like trying to feed the animals.
Oh no.
Smoochum's totally into this.
Smoochum's.
And they don't walk like right up to Smooch and try to, it's off at a distance. They kind of do the food line, kind of waving it. When he opens his mouth, they toss it down there.
They
And
know
then
they're
they giggle and do
crocodile
it again.
safety.
Like
Doing
a
it.
zoo exhibit.
And,
They get crocodile hunter up here.
clearly they're fascinated because he's not something they see all the time, but they're not. It's not to the level that you see back home. It's not like they don't know what this is. It's just, we don't see this very often.
Mhm.
One of them does try to pet Spruce, but the eel head kind of growls and they back off. So Nasora starts y'all upstairs. You get to the library. There's an old guy. Seems to be transcribing old scrolls into more modern looking books.
Does Sasha recognize him?
About more modern looking, like, you know, medieval level books. No, it's old Egyptian looking fellow. He looks up as you all come in. Oh, yes, can I help you?
Hello. Have you seen Mr. Adele around, or his wife?
What was your father's name?
Hold, please.
Actually, go ahead. If you've got it, go ahead and give me both of them. I had written them in my notes somewhere, but I'm not
I
finding
think
them.
I sent them to you recently, so.
Yeah, you may have. Let me go. Let's see. There's your middle name.
Salma Adele is the mother.
And Omar. Yes, I see it now.
Father.
Oh, yes. Omar said he had to, let's see. Excuse me. Salma came by and needed Omar for something.
Did she happen to say what?
No, they had some other. She had some other fella with her, but I didn't get a good look at him. He stayed out in the hallway.
Stern.
She was in a bit of a state. He looks at you closer. You rather look like her. Are you
Yes.
their
I'm
daughter?
daughter.
Oh, it's a.
Yes.
He kind of stands up and gives a little bow. It's a pleasure to meet you, dear.
Really confused by all this, but just kind of nods back and. You said you didn't catch where they were going?
No, they were quite. She was quite excited when she came in, though. They seemed to think you would be here shortly.
Well, that's also concerning then. Okay, thank you.
I don't know if they were rushing off to meet you, and maybe y'all missed each other. He's like, I don't know.
No, I don't think that happened. Sasha visibly like, fricka.
Sasha, the EXE stopped working.
Meanwhile,
Like, this is
downstairs.
everything I wanted and nothing I wanted.
Yeah.
All right, Jaden. Let's see. What kind of trail would he leave through a house?
Knocking over old vases.
Like a cat.
Maybe a little bit of muck from the.
Probably
From
if
the
he
river?
didn't change into clothes.
Yeah.
Droplets of water.
So you start poking around. You pick up the trail. It leads to the stairs, up the stairs. So you follow everybody else kind of up the stairs. They go in the library. There's some, you know. You get the impression that he stood around for a bit. They lead off to another room, like a little side room. That when you peek in there, you see some modern clothes laid out. Or not laid out, they're like tossed in a corner in a pile. And they're wet, and they're you know, a little mushy. Or a little mucky, got a little muck on them. Spruce is over there sniffing at him.
Rolls in him because muck.
From there, you're not entirely certain because you're finding, you can find little trails of all sorts of people running around. But he's no longer wearing the same. He's now apparently wearing the same sort of footwear as everybody else.
Can she have spruce track based on set? If
Oh,
that
you can give me a roll for that.
viable.
You can give me a roll for that, certainly. I mean, he's got 3 noses. He ought to be able to smell.
This is not my book. That is fine. Where's my book? Is it 7 or 9 dices, Zay, for tracking?
For tracking is secondary, so 7.
It's important to you, but not as important as being a good boy.
1
Yeah.
success.
Wow. That was quite a few dice. It takes him a
Yeah.
little while to pick the trail up.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly because, while he's sniffing this stuff, there may have been several people in the room at the time. But he follows the smell back downstairs to another side of the room and right up to an open window. And if you don't stop him, he just flat out climbs up on the sill and jumps off. It's
She's
ground
gonna
floor,
follow.
so it's not like it's,
And she's gonna jump right out the window with it.
Boy.
Hi, Scully.
Sasha somewhere just like, this tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna track the tracker?
As you land, there's like a gardener or something. He was working on some plant over to the side.
My begonias.
And yeah, he looks over at you as you and Spruce come through the window. Thump. We have doors, dear. Has everyone today forgotten that we have doors?
Everyone?
You're like the 4th person, well, 5th if you count the dogs, I suppose, to come through that window in the last, quarter of an hour.
Oh. She's trying to figure out how to get this information sent to them because they are busy in the library.
We're probably walking out of the library by now.
Yeah.
You can just yell,
She's not gonna yell.
hey guys, they're over here!
Alright, Falcon has just given you a party boon.
Oh.
Oh, wait, Falcon may have just given you 2 party boons.
She's gonna do a high-pitched whistle.
Okay, it keeps coming up, so I guess 3 party boons now.
Heck yeah.
Shouldn't those things be listing on here somewhere where I can look at them?
Probably not. Probably, but
Okay, I think we're up to 4 now. So that's 4 momentum y'all got.
Heck yeah.
I'll take it.
Thank you, thank you.
Easy, quick and dirty way to do that. We're at 9 now.
Yeah.
And yes, Falcon, I believe you're at
10.
4, so I've given them 4 momentum.
we were
We're
at
at-
10 because
Yeah.
failed the cunning and the swimming and did the. That was it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so yes, up in the library, y'all hear a sharp whistle.
I don't like that.
Sounds like she's got something for us.
The gardener is just looking at Jaden like,
You'll understand when you see more people come this way.
Damn.
Connor's
You must
gonna
be one of
find
the
the
people that
nearest
that-
window.
the library has open windows.
He is out the window.
They're all shuttered like they can be closed, but they're all open right now. There's no glass in them. There's no screens or anything.
We have a door, Chief. Break everything.
It's like,
Yeah, he's out the window.
The gardener's
I
like,
will.
you must be one of those that's with Lady Asset's,
Yes.
Lady Asset's daughters that showed up. The word's getting around the estate and about that time, Connor lands thump. We have
What you got?
stairs as well.
Apparently, 3 other people jumped out this window. Besides us.
Yeah, probably
And
the guy we're chasing, Sasha's parents, and yeah.
The gardener's
Sasha,
like, the Adele's?
Clarice, and Robert all taking the stairs.
Yeah, we're taking the stairs and going around, being nice and respectful.
All of us in our like fancy borrowed garb, just like ah.
Well, it's not fancy. It's not fancy. I mean, it's pretty casual dress for this
Yeah,
area.
but
Yeah.
you know,
It's relative.
Mhm.
all LARP garb.
Oh yes, people of the LARP would gush over your the
Wow, it's so
authenticity.
accurate to the time period.
I wonder why.
Not like the clothing you get from Ra's estate, where the belts have spaces for your cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
Goes through a door, out into the garden.
Just had one hell of a thunderclap happen, so
Yeah,
if I
I
suddenly
got a little weather coming
disappear,
through my spot too.
You're welcome. Don't
yeah,
bring
it
it
was
back.
pouring so heavily over here earlier.
It was windy here, so y'all just keep that.
Yeah, y'all
Mm-hmm.
take all of that.
Well, I'm not
It's
hearing
heavy
any thunder. I'm
windy.
just hearing rain. But
Yeah, we just got thunder here.
Coming out through the garden, probably like across the garden, seeing where everyone is. Smoochum's in tow.
the gardener's kind of studying you as you walk up. But he looked at everybody, but he's kind of studying Sasha. Ma'am?
Sir? Looks at Jaden. You cold?
I want to assume the people we are looking for jumped out this window before I did.
There were 3 of them, 2 men and a woman, I'm pretty sure. They were wrapped up pretty good. You know, dressed like they were expected out in the sun for a while. Not that that's necessary here, but most of us still dress appropriately. Or what would be appropriate, you know, when we were living.
Did you recognize either of them? I mean,
They were wrapped up. I didn't get a good look at their face. And he gestures to a spot a little further away. I was working further away from the house than currently. And then, 10, 15 minutes later, I see your Greek friend here come hopping out.
They just kind of like, wait, we haven't told anyone that they're Greek, but okay.
That may just
Obviously,
be what he
they
calls
can.
white folks. You're not sure.
Fair. Did you see what direction they were heading?
Well, they walked around to the front of the house like they were heading to the main road. Why they couldn't have just gone out the front door, I don't know.
Probably because they were trying to be sneaky bastards. Okay,
That would fit with him too.
They have
yeah,
to,
you're probably not wrong.
that's my mother, good sir.
She's like,
I'm aware.
she's like,
You should
"No,
thank the
he's
gods
right."
you were adopted.
This might be uncouth of me, but what is their... My brain just blanked on the word.
Again, y'all see Nassar
Rumor.
kind of doing that, and the gardener's just ignoring him. Whatever.
Does Sasha see the Nassar doing that?
This go around, yeah. I mean, it's not quite that obvious, but it's definitely a little shake of the head.
Why shouldn't they tell me about my parents?
Beg your pardon?
You're being exceptionally obvious.
We don't have time for this. Let's go follow.
Subterfuge is not
Sure.
really something I'm trained for here.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, they are. Trump. Look at Jaden. Main road?
Nassar kind of follows behind you. And, back out to the road where y'all were coming from. Spruce had already headed that way a little bit, and then had stopped and was like waiting on y'all to catch up.
Mm.
As
Let's
y'all were
go.
having y'all conversation.
Chase.
So you'll travel down the road. You pass some other houses. You get out into the fields. There's a wooded area. That it's not as swampy as what y'all had been traveling through. But it's not as dry as like the field, the irrigated fields you've been walking through. But as you approach the woods, two figures come walking out of them. Dressed kind of as the gardener described, except any wrapping or anything around their heads is pulled back. Sasha, you recognize your parents. And they're talking to each other about something when they spot you.
Probably just has like smoochums, like just giving them like a look, like, don't know if I want to be a jackass or not.
They don't. Do they look some kind of in a stupor?
No. Her mother, and I don't know that the rest of y'all have ever seen a picture of her mother. Up to Sarah if Sasha keeps photos of her folks around.
If they were when they were repairing the house or when they went to the grandparents' apartment.
Oh, you're right. They probably would have been.
Yeah.
So Robert for sure, since he actually worked on the house in the house for a while, would recognize. I mean, even if you don't recognize them specifically, Sasha and her mother bear a strong resemblance. But her mother breaks into a big grin and kind of just starts kind of running towards Sasha. Omar's got more of a trot behind her.
Would you like the blunt approach, Sasha, so I can get real blunt about this real quick?
Oh no, I've got that. What?
Okay, fine.
You're not going to bring Fritz Lloyd out to say hello as well?
You know Fritz Lloyd? Your mother looks
Yes.
puzzled and asks this as she runs up, but she still just runs up and hugs you.
Turn the
Sasha's, like,
GoPro on
very-
quietly.
Sasha's like very stiff, like not at all returning it at the moment. She's like, yes, one of his associates put Grandma and Grandpa into a magical coma.
Now your
Tried to
mother looks
burn
her
down
way.
the
He
apartment.
did not mention that.
Kidnapped me.
Oh.
Took my blood.
Falcon has
kidnapped one of my
redeemed a.
associates.
Oh, sorry, I should have interrupted mid rant. Sorry.
She just like
Keep
goes
moving.
on like.
Falcon has redeemed a hydrate, so if anybody that's got a drink, take a drink.
I got one.
Thank you, Falcon.
That's literally all of us, actually.
Yeah.
I think for
So
except for
hydrate.
Deca.
What?
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
And I had a water, but I didn't want to see which one was full or not.
Yeah.
Mood.
Uh,
Kidnapped myself. Kidnapped my associates. Took us magically to another area. Fled that. Came to Cairo. Is doing God knows what in Cairo. Used my blood to climb the ladder, and so now we're here. Hello.
Don't forget trying to usurp the power of the gods.
Got you.
How
How have you been?
Omar is kind of like, what SOB? He didn't mention any of that.
Okay, my computer just flickered.
Uh-oh.
Well, if you disappear, we'll know what happened.
It's flickering a lot, actually.
When you talked about
Turn your light off to kind of save the...
Yeah.
but when you talk about use your blood, your mother starts looking you over. Are you all right? Did he hurt you?
Took it surgically. Used a needle.
Saying surgically really doesn't seem to relieve her any.
Used a needle. She'll realize like halfway through that and just like used a needle. Also took Roberts as well.
All right,
Oh.
Falcon has redeemed a party appreciation at Mr. Robert Jones,
The man in the dark.
which I'm
Good boss.
assuming he means Duba because Duba's the player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
Dude,
Oh,
I didn't dwarf.
there we go.
All right,
Eh.
everyone say something nice about Robert.
I appreciate his very full beard.
Yeah, I was just about to say that beard though.
He's playing the sign of a dwarf. It works.
Yeah. It does.
I mean, he is basically a dwarf anyway.
A bit tall for a dwarf.
Yeah. If anything, you're the dwarf touch.
No,
You
I could
know,
use you as an armrest.
No.
Literally.
Sir,
Walk on
do
side.
not coax the wife to want to stab you.
All right, everybody else say something nice.
I
Going, he's a dwarf,
mean,
really probably wasn't.
I mean,
I
he
appreciate
is the
your-
most kindest
Mhm.
person who'll give you the shirt off of his back, quite literally, if you needed it.
You know, that's very nice.
Whenever I show up, he just occasionally gives me food. He's cool.
He's both hilarious and slightly dangerous when he's had at least one drink.
Slightly.
These guys know each other IRL. I just know you from like the 2 campaigns that I've played with you, and you've been a delight, my dude.
well, if Texas wasn't such a long drive, I would happily say, "Come on, Deca, we'll make you dinner."
Like 16 hours to wherever.
Oh, so it's like so it's like a drive home. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna start the GoFundMe to get Deca a visit vacation to Alabama.
We'll
No,
host
no.
him, and he can stay here.
We're gonna have a
And
foreign exchange. Texas is a whole other country, right?
And there's the
When we
rant
got
for
in
the night,
trouble.
gentlemen.
We have
No,
one.
no.
Tangent, yes.
Look, to be fair, we'll do one better. We'll get a GoFundMe up so Deca and their partner can just move on down this way a bit closer. At least it'd be a state off.
Jesus Christ.
Look, to be fair, we have like 3 friends in Georgia. We have Zay and her husband and our buddy Carr up there in Tennessee. We ain't got nobody in Mississippi, so you know, there's that.
Gonna
We
be
just shove you,
a
Mississippi.
road trip.
Yeah.
So I mean, you essentially got North Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. Have your pick.
Boy.
We just shove him in Mississippi. Therefore, we all just like whenever we meet up, all
Converge.
directions. Yeah.
All right, tangent.
Falcon wants to know what everybody's drinking. I currently have Cola O, which is a store brand Coke Zero knockoff.
Drinking water. It's good for you.
Soda.
Coke Zero. So I'm contemplating grabbing a Truly because I'm off tomorrow.
Mine's on the screen.
I was fixed to say Diet Coke for me, but then again, I have been drinking this since the age of 5, and I'm going on 31. If my insides haven't done like on Kenan and Kel and turned the color of said drink, well, you know, I'm missing out.
Hey, Josh, I got a question for you.
Oh,
Yep,
boy.
go for
How
it.
in the hell did you manage to keep that bottle alive that long?
That's a darn good question.
The first thing I thought of too. That's a big bottle.
Yeah.
Wait,
Like
did
the
you
bottle
say
is hilarious for all
turning
the ladder.
31?
No,
Okay.
I'm very well aware I have turned 31. 32 is the next number.
Look at him,
Oh,
baby.
boy.
Yard.
Baby, look at our boy.
Okay.
All right, refocus. You're ranting at your parents. They're basically going, you know, he didn't say anything about, you know,
Ah.
that your mother's asking you if you're okay.
Just kind of nods, like, essentially.
Then she asks you, you know, because let's see, your grandparents are her parents. It's your maternal
Yes.
grandparents. Okay.
Yes.
Lost train of thought for a second there. Okay. You said they're in a coma, like he has them entranced or something.
Yes, they're Medically, they're fine. They just aren't responsive to anything. They're being kept in a hospital at the time.
She kind of rose her head. There's no telling what he used on him because
Some
kind of
of
mishmash
powder.
of magic he uses. Powder.
We asked a Kodama and they didn't know, and we asked a Set. Well, I asked a Set and she did not know. So we're looking for him for
Oh,
better or for
shame.
worse to see what he is up to.
Well, he came here looking for some information I had been working on for him before we came under a Set's influence.
Quick
Or,
aside,
let's
looking
see.
at her parents.
Wouldn't be before she came under a Set's influence,
Right.
but some information that he had us working on.
Quick aside, looking at her parents. They're dead, right?
Yes. Yes, they
Okay.
are.
Just making sure.
Just making sure.
Uh,
Blah, blah.
but, well, I wish we'd realized that before we helped him sneak off. He'd said some people were after him. He did not mention that it was you.
We'll also have should have some of the guards from the estate after him as well.
Oh, hey, did he do something in the estate to get them riled up?
Snuck in and snuck out.
Well, that wouldn't usually get them too upset.
And Sasha said so.
Yeah.
Oh, that
They
would do.
apparently like me back there.
Well, you're the boss's daughter, the way they're looking at it. How did you get here, by the way?
A ladder.
Her and Omar kind of look at each other. Where was this ladder at?
Just outside of Cairo. It was in a
Omar's
ditch
like, I believe your
site.
mother means on this side. Where was that?
Oh, she would kind of point back. We came across the river.
I see.
Trying to leave.
Yes, that would be nice.
So where'd you leave the guy we're chasing?
Back in the woods. We'll take you to it. Or I'll take you to where we left him. He wasn't, like, planning to hang around for too long.
Please do.
She'll just also go around and real quick introduce everyone else. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Walk and talk. We don't have
friend.
the luxury of time. Let's go.
Yeah, she's doing that as walking and talking.
Omar seems to agree wholeheartedly with you as far as the let's walk and talk. And, they kind of nod and, pleased to meet you as she introduces you all. Though she doesn't seem to be... You don't know how much they're really paying attention to the rest of you. They're really kind of focused on Sasha.
Sasha would like to roll for being completely uncomfortable with being everyone's focus.
Oh, go ahead and give me an empathy.
She's gonna just do walk unnoticed.
Composure. Give me empathy composure.
Are you just looking at stuff I have no dice in?
No, I've got Jaden's sheet pulled up just to see the list of skills.
Hey!
How'd you do?
Hey! Momentum.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Must
can we
have
get past 10 momentum? Did we determine if we could or not?
We
Yeah.
could.
Okay.
Oh wait, no.
I
No,
thought it
there
was
is a limit.
double the
The limit is twice the amount of players there are. So
So
10.
10.
Y'all are only up to 9 anyway.
No?
No, we're at
10.
we were at
We're
10.
at 10 now.
Y'all started with...
I have rolled 2 zeros so far.
Okay, I think one of your zeros I may have forgotten to give you a point for then.
Hmm.
So yeah, y'all are maxed out now. I don't have enough momentum laid out for you.
Max out of 9 or max out of 10?
Max out at
Max out
we can do
10.
equal amount of players. So
Okay.
5 of us, 10 momentum.
So flub all you want to now, it'll do you no good.
Unless we
What
start
we do
spending.
best. I guess that's kind of like an encouragement to spend it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep a balance going.
Okay, Brittany, please go down.
So yeah,
Please
so
make
you
the
rolled a
boy go
0.
down.
So yes, you're very uncomfortable with all this attention. This is the most emotional your parents have been to you ever.
Ever. They weren't very touchy-feely.
Well, they have been in a set's realm for a while, and she's like all about family.
Yeah. It's
Hey.
like put them in counseling or something.
Maybe being dead, they realized how important family was.
Still possible.
And you know, your mother, as you're walking back into the woods, you know, your mother's talking to you about, you know, stuff she might be able to try to wake, you know, her folks up. You know, though sooner rather than later, you know, is important in these sorts of things. You know, kind of like with strokes. She's like, not that this is like a stroke, but you know.
Considering they have no idea how time is passing up here, Sasha's just like, yep, this is fine.
And your mother has no idea how time's passing up here, so yeah.
How long have you been gone? 5 years.
Ooh, that'd be messed up if y'all arrived like 5 years before you left.
I apologize for giving the story guide ideas.
Eh.
I mean, time is relative in the various pantheons, overworlds, and underworlds.
Yep.
I mean, Sasha herself literally fucks with time. So
Yep.
And bees. She's gonna have a very interesting.
bees.
You know, she becomes a goddess. She's gonna have a very interesting collection of things she's in charge of.
time
What are-
and bees.
What do you think out of? Time and bees.
So the
She-
spring, no, time and bees. I did not stutter.
She's an
Those
expert
two
gardener.
specific things.
Hey, look up beside.
we-
It's the sea. It's horses. It's earthquakes. It's like it was just whatever caught his fancy that day. You know, whatever hobby he got into for for a week. That's what he became god of.
He was on lockdown for a while and just took up a lot of hobbies.
Okay.
Basically.
Into the woods.
Into the woods. Does Jada need to roll to track?
She can, but the Adele seem to be taking you. You know, they've kind of taken the lead. You know, we left her over this way.
Making our way.
We were supposed to gather some research for him and bring it back to him, but you know.
That doesn't look like it worked out.
Well, we hadn't gathered it yet. I hadn't really been working on it since I'd been here, but you know. He's always had that pet project of trying to, you know, uplift humanity or whatever.
Yeah, decided to hurt your daughter to do it. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, you know. We always kind of figured he was a dick, but yeah. But he paid us to do research, so you know.
Oh yeah, Tad and I got plans.
Well, I hope those plans don't take too long. We need to get back to Earth as quickly as possible.
Can you even really get back to Earth?
Oh yes. As long as we can find one of those ladders.
Sasha's like, marginal concern.
So they take you back to where they had left Fritz Lloyd. She's like, all right. When you get there, your mother's like, all right, from here, your friend is probably going to need to track him. He wasn't going to stay in one spot. We just knew the general area he was going to be roaming around.
I'm going to use momentum, just so we can have be able
So
to get
we're
some
not
more.
capped.
Yeah.
All right, how many points are you going to use?
Is it okay if I use 3?
Knock yourself out.
Do it.
All right, 3 momentum spent. That is 3 extra dice for you.
Okay.
Sasha's going to ask while they're there, what kind of research
3
did you give
successes.
him?
4 successes.
Oh, that's right. Specialization.
Yep. Yes, you have
Mhm.
no trouble picking him up. The ground is very soft here. Now, you wouldn't have known it was him, if they hadn't shown you here, because he's wearing the same kind of shoes everybody else in this area wears now. So,
But his scent, Spruce would help be able
yes,
to pick it up.
Spruce is on the trail as well.
There's
You know,
not
you
so
point
much
out, you find the footprints and you point Spruce to him. He sniffs and takes off.
Mhm.
all three heads laser focused. One of them slightly grumpy about it.
Now, are you taking this entire group to track him down?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because
What?
it's what, the 5 of you, 2 animals, the Adels, Nassor.
Oh, wait. Wait, are we taking her parents?
Why not? It's a road trip.
So there's
Okay.
like 10 of you people stomping through the woods trying to catch up with this guy. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
I'm doing the hell out of this.
Well, we're in a wilderness area. So Connor is really stealthy right now. Because I have the wild's purview.
I do too, so I am also very stealthy.
So you two are very stealthy. Nassor,
Wow.
I will make
he's got full
rolls.
city boy going on. He's stepping on every stick he sees. He looks uncomfortable to be in the woods.
Sora or
Omar?
Nassor, because he's still following you around.
Oh, jeez! I
Jeez.
totally forgot he was following us. You're like, buddy, you can stay at the house.
So there actually is a lot of us. Like a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
There is.
We kind of need to lessen the group. Or split up.
Splitting up is fine, as long as we all kind of know where each other is.
Nassor's like, I could go back and get some guard, maybe.
That seems like a delightful idea.
He seems quite relieved to be able to just take off.
Thank God.
Random question I just thought of. Did we ever figure out what our band-aid was going to be for this arc?
I was assuming it was.
We never
Well,
talked about a band-aid.
Can we maybe have it be like, take care of Fritz Lloyd Smith, maybe?
I assumed that is what it was.
Okay.
I mean, me personally, I sat here for a minute. I was like, I don't think anybody's discussed that with me, so I don't know what to put.
I was just double checking my deeds. I realized our band deed was blank. I was like,
Command decision. We're figuring out what Fitz Lloyd Smith is doing.
Well, one of you's got capture Fritz as a short deed.
Yes. Capturing him. Because we never figured a band-aid.
Though I really like Jaden's second one too.
Yes. I never picked the third one because I just couldn't figure it out. But
All right, so he takes off. And then there were 9.
I mean, I can walk mostly unnoticed. Not as fast as either one of you.
yeah, I'm pretty stealthy.
It's almost like, well, if your 2 friends are particularly stealthy and quick, perhaps they should go on ahead, and the rest of us could stay here.
I mean, I'm good with that plan. Besides, having a giant search party would kind of slow them down if they can get through faster. So let them handle it.
All right.
stay safe.
I mean, it's
Appreciate
a
it.
scion of a huntress goddess and the Monkey King's son. They should be able to handle, one Brit in a fight.
Fine. Oh no, it will. Oh,
Connor actually physically pauses and looks at her parents and goes, "You know my heritage. How?"
Well, her adopted mother likes to talk about her, so we're kept in the loop.
Fair enough. All right.
Asha somehow has gone completely red and is just kind of sitting there like,
Now,
can we go to someone else's like home plane and have their
I'll take
mom
you-
talk about them?
I'll take you to visit Dad later.
now when Salma, basically says that to Connor, that's the mother you remember. Kind of sarcastic. She's giving him a look like, you're not a very bright one, are you?
Totally down.
There's mom.
That's the mom
Con-
I recognize.
Connor just gives a grin that's all teeth that basically says, I'd love for you to think that.
Asha's like, yes, we can all bicker later. Let's figure this out.
All right, so
Jaden,
Connor and
Jamie?
Jaden are heading off after Fritz Lloyd.
Fritz.
Yes.
Fritz.
Are you taking the animals with you? Well, I assume Smoochums will stay
Taking
with
Spruce.
Fudge.
Because Spruce will be able to pick up the scents.
Mhm.
If you find him, I don't know, whistle. Maybe not whistle.
How about you hear him getting clobbered at Mach 1?
Listen for the sound barrier breaking. Got it.
Just listen to the sound of punches and a limey screaming.
Does that scream sound British to you?
Stiff upper lip, old boy.
That's really more of an Irish scream, which is still
Um,
weird.
It's weird to encounter here,
Yeah.
I
but
thought he was British. He screams
Sure,
like a
it's fine.
Welshman.
Connor will actually, he'll reach into his, he'll put the gloves on. Basically, that's literally, he's just like,
Right, well, this is a load of bollocks. Anyway, moving on.
have fun, you two.
All right, so y'all take off.
yes.
Are you trying to be stealthy or just trying to be fast, or some combination of the two?
Well,
We both have wilds, we both have
And we
dexterity, so we can be both.
so as long as he doesn't go Mach
yes.
speed, because I haven't gotten that boon yet, we should be able to keep up with the. Jaden
Yeah.
should be able to keep up with him.
All right. in
Scully,
that
get
case-
down!
I think my movement speed is still higher just because of Connor's physicality.
Yeah,
I think he's still
But
faster.
but
Rein it
he
in.
would be able to kind of keep up with him, though.
Yeah.
Look. The thing is you're not going mock Jesus. That's the important bit. As long as you don't
Yeah.
attain that, she can match you. Once you hit mock Jesus, she's done.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see.
But yeah, with wild, it does say that move through the wilderness with a dryad's grace, ignoring any difficult or dangerous terrain based on dense undergrowth, fallen trees, briar patches, or similar plant-based hazards. And if
Plus
we're-
2 enhancement on all roads to establish stealth while in the wilderness area.
All right, give me survival checks. To
Survival.
be quiet. Let's see.
Just straight
Uh,
survival.
Would it be
Survival
subterfuge?
And subterfuge would work as well. Either one of those, given the environment, will be fine.
Okay,
And
You're
dexterity, I guess, because this is
Dexterity.
about movement.
right. I'm going to use a momentum.
Okay.
All right, one momentum speech.
Picturing-
And I will also use a momentum.
All right, that's 2 then.
That's
And
half.
now that's half.
What are we?
But I
okay,
say,
so we're
now,
at
now,
5.
children, let's not spend the entire pool.
Oh yeah, but
No, but
They're
I know we're
gaming the
spending
system
half-
for XP.
And yes, I know.
so
Don't call it gaming. It incentivizes us.
Yeah,
4?
I mean
okay.
that we don't have as much momentum, so something bad.
And we're
happens,
probably
we're
not
fucked.
gonna. I mean, we're not gonna
Yeah.
use any more. Now we can kind of build up 5 more momentum.
We just need
That-
people to roll
You know
down.
how this should work. It should be every time y'all spend a momentum, it becomes a tension. There are other
There
games.
are
And every time
There
you
are
pass
several
it-
games that do that sort of thing.
There are some powers like in the book that actually do that.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
if
that-
the
that's
power
specific
is used,
instances, though.
it provides. Yeah. So I have a 7 to my stealth.
Okay.
Picture
Yeah, 4. I have a 6.
the group
Yeah,
back.
y'all.
No, that's right. I have 8 because I have a stealth specialization.
All right, y'all both got way above Fritz
What we
Lloyd.
needed.
So y'all catch up with him fairly quickly. He's not making bad time. I mean, for a normal guy in grown up woods, yeah, he's moving along pretty well. Clearly, he's somebody that's been out in the wilderness before. But he is mumbling and kind of cursing under his breath. He does not seem happy.
As we get up to him, Connor just like glance over at Jaden and like just tap his gloves and mime a motion.
She's gonna give him a look though that says, "Don't kill him."
Connor in the trees. Let me smash.
Let me smash. And as long as she's like, yeah, do it, he'll be like, okay.
All right. So what's Connor doing?
Well, he wants to try to basically alpha strike the guy. So he's going to activate Heavenly Stride, zip at him in a burst of speed. I'm going to claim the attack as part of speed base, so I'm calling in point of scale for feet of scale. And he's just going to try to deck this guy as hard as he can and knock him out.
All right. So you just run up behind him, back the head.
Basically, yeah, he's just doing. So, dexterity, close combat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call Monkey Man going mock Jesus.
Yes, that'd be. Hold on. Alrighty. Okay, so.
Monkey on the run.
Oh, balls. 9 successes?
That's quite a few. Let me see.
Non-lethal damage.
She
All right.
gave like that look.
Smith
Don't kill
got two.
him.
Smith got 2 successes.
I'll say,
Oh wait, no, he didn't roll that.
Oh,
He's got a
wait.
static defense. I'm sorry, his static defense would be 2 though, so that would still work out the same.
Question. We ambushed him. Or Connor ambushed him, at any rate.
Mhm.
I remember there's something specifically for that in the origin book.
Well, irregardless of how we do it, you definitely
He's got the
smoked
upper-
him.
Yeah, I just want to see by how much. Just because. Because I'm that guy.
Gotta get that power gamer fix.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in no way. Okay, where's Ember? 118.
It's back at the camp. Everyone getting embarrassing stories about Sasha's childhood.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Robert's probably got popcorn ready.
Where did you get popcorn?
Okay.
Mostly your parents are just
Yeah, so
talking
it's-
about
it's no-
asking y'all
alright.
about y'all's journey here and how you got here and what was going on in Cairo. And
So there's no additional like points to it. It just the ambush basically just makes it so they can't do anything.
okay.
Says hello and also fuck you.
And they don't get an action at all.
Okay.
Which I
So if you don't knock him completely out, he doesn't get to do anything before the initiative would start back over, essentially.
So
A lot like being caught flat-footed or catching somebody by surprise in D&D, truthfully.
yeah. So hit double crit? I'm not sure what was how was his defense?
2.
2. Okay, that leaves me with 7. So it'd be hit.
Murder him.
Well, yeah, I know that. It's he's doing unarmed, so he can't actually do lethal damage anyway. just
The-
maim. So hit, crit,
You know,
and that leaves me with 3.
I think that'd be enough to knock him down if you wanted to.
establish a grapple.
No, he's gonna do is basically he's just gonna like hit him so hard he's gonna knock. Basically, he's just gonna grapple and just just go down. So yeah, he's gonna use the other 3. He's gonna use the other 3 to establish a grapple.
So now I'm just picturing we're gonna be doing like a diamond cutter or a stunner on him, but then grabbing his head after they land.
Basically. I'm glad you picked up what I was putting down there.
Don't go. Don't go.
Sweet Jesus.
So yeah, he kind of goes down with a, and then you got him to sit there in like a headlock, and you just kind of hear,
So-
Hello, friend.
Mr. Hughes, fancy meeting you here.
Well, you know, I like to get around.
A set does not appreciate violence in her realm. Just let you know.
Yeah, well, you know, my dad doesn't like you pissing on his territory either.
What? He seems honestly bewildered.
Don't worry about it, buddy. Tap, tap, tap. He's just like lightly on the cheek. Oh, that reminds me. Dad would love to have a word with you when we get back.
Jaden will go up and in her bag she always carries, she'll pull out some zip ties, hand them to
Zip-
Connor.
Are you gonna struggle?
He's gonna struggle.
I believe that would be pointless at this time.
Yeah, because I'd
let-
choke you out if you tried.
And you can probably pick up a small car, so I surrender.
You throw it.
I mean, I have thrown a Cyclops.
Then my point is made.
All right, Jaden, you do what you gotta do. I'll hold him.
I trust I'll be treated honorably. Puts his hand, he puts his hands behind his back. He's not resisting.
We still have some use for you.
He's a little unsteady on his feet from the lick he just took.
You just have him in a headlock and then go out and moth Jesus towards us. His body like flapping in the wind.
No, his body just stays behind.
That goes
Football.
with.
You can talk to the dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta take the ladder back down to do it.
Hey,
Somebody's soul.
Jaden.
Hmm?
Remember the way back, right? I'm feeling a little antsy on my feet.
I bet you are. Don't kill him.
No, we still need him.
I know Sasha could talk to him if he's dead. Don't kill him.
I know we still need him, and Dad still needs to have a talk to him anyway.
And
Your
if I'm
father can't
killed,
kill
I will
him
refuse
either.
to speak to your friend.
Yeah. And then just without warning, my Jesus speed. And he's back to camp.
Suddenly, he's back
Holding-
to camp. Fallen leaves are flying everywhere. Fritz Lloyd, vomits all over Connor. He was already woozy from the shot to his head, and then all of this.
He just legitimately he just drops him, takes off his shirt, with all the vomit on it, grabs Fritz Lloyd by the hair, rubs it all in his hair just to clean it off,
Ew.
and then drops him.
It's just like a cat when they do something bad or a dog, you rub their face into it to tell them no.
Connor,
What's their reaction to this?
chaos.
What was that, Sarah?
Sasha's side-eyeing her parents. What is their reaction to all of this?
Well, all the vomit and stuff, they're kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, he does that.
I'm half dead. Are you surprised?
Or it's only half.
Yeah, it could be worse.
But your mother's like, he's still alive?
Well,
Told him not to kill him.
yeah. He literally points at Sasha. She said not to kill him, and she still has use for him. Also, third point, Dad has to have a talk with him. So, that too.
Oh, okay. She doesn't look happy about it, though.
What do you think Set would do with him?
Big pardon?
She's asking her parents, what do you think a Set would do with him? He's
At the very least, banish him back to Earth. Might put some sort of curse on him.
From behind Fritz Lloyd, Connor's just grinning at that.
I don't think she'd have him executed.
He hasn't done anything yet, but he wanted to.
raises the question as to why he came here to begin with. Was it just to see you? To get whatever research you had for him?
That's what he told us.
What were
I
you
will.
Oh, the nature of the gods. She goes into some kind of esoteric subject matter. Old philosophers debating the nature of gods. Nothing recent as far as that kind of discussion, but he was looking for like the really old stuff.
He
Back when the
wants.
gods were a little more active, or she tells you he was particularly interested in what the people thought back in the days when the Titans ruled.
Yeah, that sounds about right, given him as a person.
But she's like, you didn't really have written languages back then, so the very earliest languages we can find, some of them referenced things that previous generations had said, but not that generation had actually been able to record.
He wants to make things even with him getting the higher end of it, of course.
Naturally.
That's how people like this work.
Salma gets a particular look on her face as Talarius is talking. But that's. You can deride his methods, certainly. But to speak down about the ideal of raising humanity to a higher level, well, that's awful easy to say for someone that's already at an elevated level.
I wasn't always at an elevated level. I grew up like a normal person.
Yes, all of you do, mostly.
Points at these two.
I grew up.
You were always kind of a monkey child, weren't you?
You mean being an orphan in the middle of the chaos of the gang war after area around Olympus was destroyed by the battle between a band and a titan?
Awfully specific.
That was my entire childhood, buddy.
Mine was mundane comparatively. Went to school, got bullied. Here I am, in the overworld.
Fitzloyd looks at you, and as you're elevating into your actual true nature, how long do you think how long do you think you'll stay in touch with that aspect of yourself?
As long as I can.
Yeah, I can respect that answer.
Will it always stay this way? I don't know. I'm not at that level yet.
It hasn't with any of the rest of them. At some point, they always look at people as ants.
Of course they do.
How long before Jaden gets back?
She's probably walking in as they're having this conversation.
So,
And then Jaden will pipe in saying, and those not elevated to the power of God still think as other people as ants anyway. So it makes no sense what you're trying to do.
surely you've seen billionaires.
Corporations.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you can look through history and see where governments that have treated their people poorly are eventually overthrown by those people. at least when you're dealing with everything on a human level, there is some hope of being able to deal with it. A workers' union isn't going to do anything to Zeus.
Well, I am in the process of slowly empowering a group of humans myself.
This is all well and good, the ethics of godhood, whatever the fuck. Sorry. We have unconscious people that are on an IV drip, and we really need them not to be unconscious or on an IV drip.
If you take me back and guarantee my survival, and no, not lack of maiming,
No, that'll be fine.
I will do what I can to wake them.
You will wake them.
I will certainly try.
If that doesn't work, I can take you to one of the kami and they can suss it out.
We used an odd combination of magic, so I'll have to sort through it.
Why did you come here? Aside from just horrible curiosity. What was your end goal coming here?
I needed some of your mother's research. And some of your parents' research. Also, you had entering the dig site, or entering the, not the dig site, but the ruin itself. You had triggered my ward, and this seemed like the quickest way to escape, as there was only one way in or out of the chamber I was in. It was either try to get out by going past you, or take the ladder.
That reminds me, I need to apologize to your fine patron, Sasha.
Why?
Well, I mean, one of his sorcerers tried to close the ruins and I smashed through them.
I don't think it was particularly Aset's ruins.
There were a few deities marked over there. Set was one of them that you
Yeah.
specifically picked out, but yes. But yeah, it seemed to be more of a general,
Well, I'm gonna need to apologize for that at least.
So if he came for your parents' research, obviously he has something on him. Could search him.
Didn't her mother say she didn't have it with her, or
correct.
yeah?
Just not getting fresh with you, just going in the pockets.
Oh, there's a couple of vials of blood.
That's yours and yours. I don't know whose is whose.
Which one looks the most empty?
That's type A. O negative.
It tastes like sand. That one's mine.
This one tastes like licking the inside of a cave wall, huh?
More
Or maybe
Robert.
this one's like licking an anvil.
Robert!
metallic.
Tastes like a really hot penny.
Anything else besides that?
Oh, let's see. He's got a handgun. What else would
What are
he
you doing?
have?
Packing it in Aset's territory? I don't know why I did that for a handgun, but
That's why I snickered.
universal gun signals.
Yeah.
Let's see. He had a map of Cairo. Pocket watch.
Does it send to GMT?
Car keys. It's just kind of generic,
Sure.
stuff he'd had in his pocket that it's all in one pouch that he had like tied inside of the robes, because he's dressed to blend
Right.
in at the moment.
Hey, Sasha. Sorry.
You're good.
You pick anything up off him?
Looks at him for magical items.
Oh, he's got a ring that's magical.
My tie and goes to kind of pluck the ring.
That's a family heirloom. I'd like that back.
When we return, I know that you are not a threat.
Well, he doesn't wave his hand behind his back.
Personally, I consider it collateral until you fix her grandparents.
That's fair
One
enough, I
family
suppose.
or another.
What does it do by chance?
It offers me certain protections. He looks over at Connor, not from physical assaults, obviously.
Ah, what I
He
would
just
do.
he just grins.
But it blunts the effects of certain magics and directed towards me. My family has always been closely observed by certain powers.
Those round table people.
Well, them as well, yes.
I think he's referring to
Ah.
Morgan Le Fay.
Her.
Yes. His stepmother.
How does she feel about all of your meddling?
She never much cared for me. The feeling was mutual.
Wait, he just said Morgan Le Fay was his stepmother?
That
Mhm.
seems to be what he's saying.
Okay.
I'm assuming
So
they're walking and talking. Going
Yeah.
back.
Connor will actually go like by the river and like rinse his shirt off.
Just face plants into the water. Death roll.
I mean, he wiped most of it off on Fitzloyd.
Oh, I bet he smells fantastic.
Oh, he does.
He'll
Spruce is
actually
really interested in him at the moment.
he'll
Oh,
actually
no.
he'll
No.
actually dunk him in the river too.
Just
to
just
get
the,
it
just
off.
the head.
He doesn't like walking around wet, but he's more than happy to rinse some of that stuff off. As you're walking back out, and the source, Nassor shows back up with a couple of the guards.
We're good.
Oh, good. He looks at it. It appears you handle things with a minimum of violence.
One good hit did it.
He gives the Adele's kind of a stern, look. We're going to have to discuss sneaking a mortal around the estate. Asit will not be pleased with that.
Why wouldn't you allow anyone to speak about them to me? I asked you once and you never gave me a direct answer.
We got rather busy. Things were moving rather quickly.
We're
Activate.
very not busy right now. Answer.
I will.
Well, we've got a
I'll
prisoner we
activate
need to
the
march
truth.
back.
Have my mother ask you. Pull
I'll
the
activate
mom.
nothing but the truth.
Pulling the mom card.
Asit does not want, or did not want any of us. Not that she expected you to show up here, but we were under instructions not to volunteer information about your parents. Oh, your mortal
Why?
parents.
But why?
I don't think she wanted to upset you, but I can't really speak for her reasoning. Who can know the mind of a god or goddess?
Grumble.
Connor starts snickering just thinking about how batshit crazy his dad is. he totally agrees.
Nasser's like, I couldn't understand the mind of mortal women when I was alive. How am I going to figure out the mind of a divine woman?
Get Sasha.
I suppose I'm going to get. Let's figure this out.
Okay, the guards kind of
Evaluate.
form around Fritz Lloyd.
That is a good question. Do we have to have a set like kick us out, or do we just leave?
Should we check out before we leave, or
Like, how does this work? This is my first time in an overworld.
Do we have to walk back to the ladder?
He's like, you certainly could.
we need that gentleman though,
Which
or at
gentleman?
least his knowledge. She points at Fitzloyd.
He's immortal.
Yeah.
I mean, He's done no damage that we know of here, so it's no particular reason we'd have to keep him.
Are there alternate ways back into the mortal realm besides finding one ladder in the middle of Pet?
A set will arrive by barge, or any of the deities or any other deity that comes to visit will generally arrive by barge.
Well,
Do we
may
want to
not
wait
be-
until then?
Now, we have smaller boats. If you wanted to walk back, we could ferry you across the river back to Pet proper. It's really just up to you, if you wanted to wait for a barge to arrive or.
How does time pass here compared to the mortal realm?
Well, time doesn't really pass here. Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't left here since I died.
Fair enough.
Is there a place I can get this shirt properly cleaned?
Get a
Oh,
dry
certainly.
cleaner or
As soon as we
something.
get back to the house.
Connor just out for left field. He's just walking around shirtless at this point.
Yes, we do have someone that does dry cleaning. The equipment's stashed away because it doesn't fit the motif, but
Okay, that's good, because this one vomited on me as he points to Fritz Lloyd.
Starch and a press on the robes.
he looks kind of, the ideal of someone throwing up. Just seems to disgust this guy. Probably not something he's had to deal with in most of recorded history.
I suppose I'll leave it up to you all if we go back by barge or we wait or.
I mean, to be fair, it'd be interesting to meet your mother, your godmother. Well, deity mother.
Quite literally,
her
godmother.
her adopted mother of sorts.
Quite literally, godmother.
I mean, she was nice.
If you all wish to stay.
Just for a little bit longer, at least to say hello.
We've taken care of what we need to take care of here. We can wait for your mother if that's what you want, Sasha.
Agreed.
I have drug all of you along on all of this. Again, I leave the decision up to you.
Ain't no bother to me.
Yeah, this is what we're doing as a group now.
We really have to get hobbies.
We have hobbies.
Do we?
You work with plants. I make content. Connor makes content.
I really don't do much of that anymore.
I mean, to be fair, I do construction slash my
He does
minor
construction.
crafting. I do construction and
Ja-
crafting. So.
Jaden literally runs a school and has his classes.
And she goes to classes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if we're waiting, Jaden's like, I should have brought my books to study.
Basically. But it's fine.
Jaden's like, give me my flashcards.
No. No flashcards.
Alright. She kind of shrugs. It couldn't hurt. Is the set due to be here at any point that you
Well, I've sent her a
know
message telling her you had arrived. I'm sure she'll be back as soon as she can be.
of? Fantastic.
In the meantime, if you're looking for hobbies, I can teach you Sonnet.
Teach me what?
Gesundheit?
Sonnet. It's a board
What is
game from
that?
my childhood. Board games were quite
Robert-
popular back in the day.
Robert tilts his head and thinks for a second. You know what? Bet. I'll take that.
I'm into that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like something fun.
Ancient Egyptian board game. When's the next time I'm going to be able to learn that?
Exactly.
Well, you can buy sets now, but
I was just like looking over at her mom, like, yeah, you taught me that when I was 3, right?
that is probably one you already know. It is.
She's just like,
It is one of the ones that kind of survived modern day, or at least people think we figured out how they used to play it.
But now we get to learn from someone who was actually alive then.
Gonna go back and own all of the modern players.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you say
Guess
that, or
so.
it might be like playing the earliest forms of chess where the queen can move one space in any direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really going to help you against modern players.
Fair enough.
Oh god.
So you spend an evening. Sasha's parents largely stay close to her. They're asking questions
Fair.
about back home, this, that, and the other,
Probably slowly, not like warm up, but at least be more cordial.
They're certainly seem to be paying you more attention and talking to you and not at you in some ways more than they did when you were, before they
Yeah.
adopted you off to a set.
Yeah.
There's the occasional worried look from Nasor, as he's watching this whole interaction. But your clothes are cleaned. You're shown areas to bathe.
Mm.
You're fed dinner. After dinner, Nasor sits down. He's teaching you the board game. It's just a whole board game night with the band.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. We quite literally kind of just ran across half the globe. So why not? Oh shit, we really did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
America
we
to
did.
We went
London.
from North America to
England.
Europe
London.
to Africa.
We pretty much gone on a cross country tour at this point,
Yeah.
if not
Continental
more.
tour.
Yeah. So I mean, at this point, it's just like just a night of not doing anything in particular won't hurt.
Do you all have anything in the line of like alcohol?
Oh yes, we have a
Buddy.
wide selection of beers and ales.
Works for me.
You probably
Yeah,
actually have mead. if they have
Fantastic. I'll take
bees.
one.
Beg pardon?
I say if they have bees, they probably also had mead.
That's quite possible. I know beer was a big thing.
I'll say, considering one of the relics from the Netgear is the bee jar.
Not the bees.
Or maybe they just liked honey. Honey was a big deal back then too.
That's
Yeah.
true. Aren't they still like finding like edible things of honey inside pyramids?
Yeah, and I know sometimes they find it and the stuff's still edible because honey does not spoil. It may kind of dry out, but it doesn't spoil.
Yeah.
I like this
Millennial old
10-year-old.
honey. Let's eat.
Yeah. Would you like this really well-aged honey?
What's the Victorian era? Where they had like this, the intellectuals of the area had this big party where they served mammoth that they had gotten out of the, permafrost. It was some of that, you had some of the mammoths that froze so quickly that the water didn't expand like it should have. So the meat was like super well preserved.
Mm.
Yeah, but even if you told me that, I doubt I could stomach that. Just the thought alone of, oh yeah, sure, I'll have me a pinch of mammoth.
Ah, well,
So
you're
they
a
also
peasant,
used
so you don't know what's
mummies.
good.
They also used mummies to make certain paints.
Anyway,
Gross stuff from history.
Oh yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
I hope you all
Mummy
learned a lesson today.
Now, we say that raspberry candy used to use some stuff from, beaver glands in or around their rears.
Yeah.
So, perfumes,
I
I
mean,
think,
that's-
still do.
Some natural
Ambergris.
flavorings still do.
Things you probably didn't know for 200.
And would rather not have known. So, when you see natural ingredients, keep in mind it may be something really gross.
It may be
Yeah,
really
that's-
natural.
that's
Yeah.
like the first thing they teach you in orientation at my job. Natural flavorings can come from beaver.
Beaver butt gland juice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the scent glands. It's like some kind of scent glands back there, but still.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Tangent number 2.
Only number 2. We're doing good.
All right.
Only number 2, damn.
I doubt it's only.
We may be on 3 or 4 or 6. But you retire for the evening. despite no one being alive, everybody seems to keep a pretty normal, kind of life cycle going on. Everybody's eating, everybody's sleeping.
The illusion of being alive.
It's like an idealized version of being alive.
Yeah.
Imagine living through your life and you never stub your toe. There's never a bad day. Yeah, there's worse ways to spend your afterlife, I guess. In fact, the only people you see that don't seem to be happy here pretty much all the time are the Adels.
That tracks.
They just kind of stick out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did someone fuck around and find out?
Well, you don't know. You don't know what they found out.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
I
At
don't.
some point, when like everyone's learning how to play the board game that she already knows how to, she's gonna ask them how they died. Because it's no secret that they're dead.
No. I mean, you had not heard about it in the mortal world, but
Yeah, this is like her finding out they're dead, but it's not like they're pretending they're alive.
they tell you car bomb.
That's somehow more and less dramatic than I thought you two would go out.
Your mother's like, well, I'm sure it was a very large explosion. What do you
Oh,
want?
I'm sure. No, I'm just saying. I figured it'd be something tomfoolery with your research, or
Nope, it was just a
Don't
local
know.
crime boss we got on the bad side of.
have Safa track them down, and I could go kill them for you.
If a set would let her, I'm sure she already would have. For your sake,
Fair.
if nothing else. Besides, she doesn't do that sort of thing willy-nilly.
Yeah,
I don't think she ever liked me.
She didn't.
Anyway, the feeling was mutual.
They just stayed together for the kid.
She's like, you she liked. You she liked. I'm almost surprised she gave you up to your grandparents. Though, I guess a set probably told her to. She was always a good toady.
She did help us back in Cairo, so
Running her little clinic, oh, look at me, I'm so nice.
well, you could stand to be nice sometimes too. You're a bit cruel in your day.
Nice doesn't get you anywhere.
Hilarious
Just-
very audibly rolls their eyes if they're anywhere near it.
Y'all are off learning the game. They're in
Yeah,
the room,
that-
but kind of off to one side on some couches.
Okay.
Speaking like obvious Arabic to each other.
Okay.
Well,
That's
it doesn't matter what language you speak
Yeah,
here, but
fair. Hush tones, at least.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's not
Hilarious heard that
games.
at all. They just very loudly roll their eyes.
Telerik just feels the disturbance in the force, and just like their eyes are just like, I can't stop, I can't stop.
At breakfast the next morning, you're told that your mother is expected to arrive, that afternoon.
More board games.
They tell you, they have locked Fritz Lloyd in a room. They don't really have sales here, but there's, kind of a root cellar little area that they've got him locked in.
A gilded cage.
It's a root cellar. It's not that gilded.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's lit. They carried him down something, an actual, cushion or something to sit on. I mean, they're not being cruel.
Mm.
I guess in the meantime, Robert would probably ask her, see if there's any like craftsmen around, and just like see some of the stuff they used to do.
How
You
did
take a little
hear about-
tour. You meet some of the carpenters and stone workers, stonemasons, uh, and it's interesting seeing how they do things in the ancient way.
Hmm.
Even though some of the work they do isn't necessarily up to snuff in your opinion, some of the carpentry particularly. Uh, though admittedly,
I
the
mean,
really old school stonemasons really seem to know what they're doing.
because you ain't going to see that kind of craftsmanship no more. But I mean,
Though none of them will
Robert,
tell you how the pyramids were built. They just
Secret
smile at you
was
real big and tell you trade secret.
Yeah, I was gonna say trade secret.
Mm-hmm.
Hay would smile back and be like, you know what? I respect that.
Tell you, but then
That's
the
fair.
aliens would come back for us.
Oh God.
they used the power of science.
Mm-mm-mm.
Science.
Robert would probably be more amazed at the stonemasons versus the carpenters. He might like check and see if there's like a project that they're not doing, like if something just kind of needs some, finishing on some surfacing or something. He'll
If
come
you
like,
wanted to
"Oh,
spend
they're
half
just-"
the day working with them, they'd be more than happy to have you.
oh yeah, no, he'd have people like, yeah, I'll jump in. Come on.
So it's mostly kind of repair work that you're not sure that things actually wear out here. There's always seems to be just enough for them to do to keep them occupied.
That's fair.
A little bit of new construction here or there, a little bit of repair work, though you don't know what would damage things here, so there doesn't seem to be any change in the weather.
Time wears it down.
Well, he
Yeah,
would
that's
be
what
like, well, time wears down everything, and then he would think about it as like, wait, time doesn't pass through here.
Yeah,
It stays standard. It stays stagnant.
it may just be that
Time
you're still mostly mortal mind, can't quite wrap your head around how this place works.
probably
Or it might
not.
just be that craftsmen need something to work on, so they have something to work on.
Just enough work to not make them go insane.
Right. Nobody's running around like frantically trying to get stuff done, or like there's a deadline coming up.
They're just casually like, ah, yes, this is relaxing.
Well, this is just stuff that needs to be done, so we'll go do it. Break for lunch. Oh well, it's evening, time to go home.
For
Again,
you
they
lovely
got
viewers,
8-hour days.
oh yeah, but for you lovely viewers at home, as you can see over my shoulder, I have Zillow.
I had
Yes.
not even noticed,
Yeah,
but I'm so used to seeing cats.
Sasha will probably go hang out in the library then until someone gets her.
Omar's more than happy to show you around the library. The older gentleman is still there working.
Does he ever sleep, that guy?
When he thinks to. It's not really
Fair.
required.
And he's finally figured that out, and he's taking full advantage of that.
Sometimes. Like I said, when he thinks about it, he goes to sleep like normal. Sometimes when he gets focused, he may go for days.
Fair enough.
He's got stories about when he was mortal, just passing out at his desk.
I know at least 2 people that would probably do that.
But around little afternoon, there's a little flurry of activity because the lady of the house is arriving.
Hey, Sasha.
Hmm.
Is there anything I should, not do?
She's like thinking, like, don't ask anyone their true names, but you know that.
Yeah.
Just pretend she's your grandfather. Be polite. Maybe not your
Okay.
grandfather. Don't spar with her.
Oh, that's an idea.
No.
All right, fine.
Unless she asks you. In which case, may she have mercy on your soul.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
Yes.
Love you too, Sasha.
Kind of shakes her head, goes down to wait to be stared at way too much.
There's a lot of people gathered outside the house when you step out the front door.
Trying to.
Everybody looks over at you as you come out.
Damn.
And then they go back to looking up into the sky.
She's like, can I into the shrub?
You hear someone giving orders in a very steady rhythm. As you look up, you see a barge in the sky, with the oars going. And it comes and basically sets down.
The thing?
I wonder if they do shanties on that thing.
Hey man, the weatherman blue.
Just the first thought in Connor's head, just flying boat. Shanties.
I mean, it's possible.
Next year, airship pirates.
Oh my, yes.
Ooh,
There's a system for that.
Yes.
there's a system.
Alright.
There's a system.
You
for
have
that.
my attention.
You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
Moving
All I
on.
know is that there is an airship pirates game. I don't know anything about that.
All right, so now we know what we're doing next year.
I'll have to try to.
Or maybe
Sorry.
Tailspin, the RPG.
Repurpose Skies of Arcadia.
God.
No.
All right.
Anyway.
So there's some little bit of ceremony, but not a whole lot. As a set steps off her barge. She gestures to everyone, asks how everyone is doing, but more or less beelines to Sasha. And you kind of have a crowd kind of going, "Oh!" as she walks up and gives Sasha a hug.
Still doing her best to resist the urge to just melt into the wall. Back.
Behold, chameleon girl.
That's why she has walk on notice and
Yeah.
Everyone looks at her. She just does the little John Cena and disappears.
It's like GIF with the guy disappearing.
Yeah.
Well, daughter, I did not expect to see you here. Well, I mean, I was notified you were here. I was not expecting you to arrive so early in your development.
We did not expect to be making the trip. We followed a gentleman that came from the mortal realm, same as we did, and found him here and are either planning to take him back or allow you to give your judgment on him. He's one of the men that put the curse on my grandparents, or one of his associates did.
She looks over at Nasir. Has he caused any trouble while he was here? And Nasir tells other than just running around and we were looking for him once Sasha showed up. Other than that, I will question him.
Sasha in the back of her head. Oh shit.
After that, I will actually just put him in your custody to take back home.
Understood.
With a stern warning as to what will happen to him if he shows back up on my estates uninvited.
Connor's kind of raises a hand.
Connor, correct?
Yes. I am not used to talking to any deity other than Father.
If it's a little easier, just think of it as you're talking to a Fran's parent.
Sweet. Alrighty then.
Oh no.
Oh boy, here we go.
So he kind of annoyed my dad too, and Dad basically gave me a charge to lay a specific curse on him. And can I do that here? Is that like something I can do in your realm? I'm not sure.
Yes, it should work fine. I would only look askance at it if you were to do such a thing to one of mine. You know, if she kind of gestures around to the other people around her. You know.
Well, I mean, they haven't like kidnapped Sasha or tried to bleed Sasha or anybody else in my group or anything else like that.
Successfully bleed Sasha.
So I mean, they haven't drawn any of my enmity.
And she looks over at Sasha. They bled you?
You took blood from myself and Robert. That's how he
Holds up
arrived
one of the
here.
vials.
Oh, in like a medical fashion. All right.
Yes. Not with like leeches or knives or anything like that.
Oh, okay. What was he wanting to do with your blood?
It's how he arrived here.
She thinks
You would have to ask him as far as the particulars of what else he had planned for it.
Well, I mean,
I suppose he could have used it for something.
we all came up that ladder.
She's like, ah. Suppose that would be the way. The ladder is simple in its function. I could see how he might be able to use that blood to. Yes, yes. Normally,
Very
a mortal wouldn't have been able to
annoying.
use it.
Very annoying when I'm trying to carry a Cerberus and an Amut up the ladder simultaneously.
She has an almost musical laugh as she tries to picture this.
It was very exhausting. But yeah, because, this is kind of your place. I wanted to ask first, because he points to Sasha. She said to try to be more respectful and not usually me.
Well, once I'm done with him, I will be placing him in Sasha's custody. Then it's up to her if she wants you to do this to the man or not.
I have no problem with it, as long as it doesn't result in his death before he can accomplish what he needs to.
Oh, he won't die. He'll probably wish he was dead, but he won't die.
And she kind of ushers, the band back in there. One last wave to her folks.
Is it like one of these situations where it's like
It's a little more heartfelt. It seems a little more genuine than that.
okay.
Me realizing I cannot do this until he's fixed the grandparents.
Y'all do hear as y'all are all walking in. Look over. You should kind of glance over at Nasor or Nasor. However I've been saying it. Where are the Adales? They're in the house, ma'am. All right.
Why am I not allowed to speak to them? Everyone here, when I've asked them, he's kind of told them to shush about it.
Not everyone here has the highest opinion of your parents, and I did not want them to say anything that would upset you. I had no idea you'd be arriving, as I said this early, but I knew you would visit here eventually.
I mean, they died. I didn't hear from them after I was given up. I've kind of come to terms with that. I figured they just didn't want a part in my life.
They were dead to me already.
Oh. They pretty much just gave her up. She's like, I figured they didn't want anything to do with me, so I got over it, I guess.
So you're saying they were dead to you already?
How have they treated you since you've been here?
They were actually much warmer to me here than they were in life. And actually seemed concerned about my well-being on a less than clinical level.
Interesting. But anyway, she ushers you all in. She has you introduce all of your friends. Has she met Jaden before?
Yeah, Jaden
Yes.
was on the rooftop with her.
Okay,
With
I
the
was I
rooftop,
was thinking so.
I'll say Connor is
and she
very
thanked her and whatnot. So yeah.
Connor's very careful not to give his middle name.
Sasha pretty much just says everyone's first name. She doesn't full name them.
Yeah. Like if pressed, he'll say Hughes because that's what's like officially on his birth certificate, but his full name, he has a middle name that he mostly keeps to himself.
I said, "Are you that guy from Full Metal Alchemist?"
But she greets you, return, and much like she did with Jade, she thanks you all for being such good friends with Sasha and watching her back, even if she has been stabbed a couple of times. But that's part. That's
Hey.
just part and parcel to the life children of the gods live. So yeah.
Let's say because Aset told her to treat her like a friend of a mother of a friend, he goes, "Hey, I did pulverize that guy for that guy, elf thing. I don't know what it was.
Faye at the very least. Night, Falcon. Thanks for coming by.
Later, dude.
Eventually,
Take
the chat fixed so
care.
I can respond in chat.
Yeah.
But she ushers you all in. She herself has like a little late lunch, which y'all are welcome to join. The Adels are a little scarce during this. Sasha, you catch glimpses of them in other rooms. They'll like walk by a door, like they're making sure you're still here.
You're alive. You're alive. All right. All right.
And she inquires about how you got here. The full story of how you got here.
We relay the ladder, the dig site, the wandering.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was not aware that place was being excavated. Something will have to be done about that.
Say when it comes to the ruins, Connor will sort of go, "And sorry."
Yeah, she just shrugged her shoulders. They were trying to crush you with the walls. If nothing else, you stopped that from harming Sasha. So yeah.
Balances out.
I just figured I needed to because ruins led to here, and I kind of smashed through several walls.
Had to be done. That's the responsibility of this Smith man's and his people.
I feel better then.
But she'll have some followers of hers in the Egyptian government put a kibosh on this new dig site, fill it back in. And she'll look into how he got the permits to start digging there to begin with, because anything outside the old dig site was supposed to be off limits.
I can maybe help with that.
No, it's all right. She'll handle it.
Connor just like his pantheon is literally all about bureaucracy. So
Sasha behind her, like.
he just kind of sits down and just pouts like I'm making a fool out of myself.
Gives the gods something to do.
But Aset seems to be reasonably, happy with all of you. After lunch, she kind of makes her excuses. Basically tells Sasha, we'll speak later. Speak in depth later tonight. But best to get the unpleasantness out of the way. She's going to go talk to the Smith man.
And Smith was never heard from again.
Actually, it's only a few minutes later when you hear her voice again.
That was
This is the angriest you've ever heard her. And you don't know where she's at, but you hear her loudly. Everybody hears her loudly. The walls rattle as she demands to know, where is he?
Oh shit.
Hilarious is getting like a minor panic attack.
Sasha,
you,
not
Look
minor.
at that, Mom.
you, and like everybody in the house is like, oh crap.
Ooh. This is like mom talking. Ooh.
Oh no,
Uh,
it very much is Mother's Wrath.
Yeah.
You've seen the sword, Nassor go running by, headed towards that root cellar place with his
Sasha's
oh
going
crap,
to
I
look
hope I'm
for-
not fired look on his face.
Sasha's going to look for her parents because she doesn't.
Trust them.
They helped him once.
Once she took her leave of you, they've been with you since she stepped out of the kitchen.
And she's looking over at them like, you didn't have any part in this, did you?
They both shake their heads no.
Shit.
I knew I should have shattered his legs.
Well, Sasha holding up the ring. He at least isn't protected from magic, which a set is specialized in.
So y'all hang out in the house, or y'all gonna hit it following the sword?
Following the story.
Following the
Following the
sword
sword,
and
getting the fuck out of here.
grabbing Spruce to go start tracking him again.
Alright, so
Well, I
y'all
think
run
the
out the
store's
root
heading-
cellar.
And
No,
it's
to the
supposed to be root
cellar. Yeah, but she's gonna try to pick up tracks from there.
Okay, yeah.
Guards are running around everywhere. You hear guards shouting descriptions to one another,
So I guess I'll roll to see if I can pick up his tracks.
A couple of the guards, when they see Robert or Connor,
Not that guy.
basically, no, it's another white guy, but not those. Because the vast majority of people here look African, with some, more Arabic or, well, truthfully,
Middle Eastern, African.
there'd even be, I don't know how many Greeks there'd be here. The Greeks ran Egypt for quite a while, but they were not a large, population-wise, they weren't a big part of.
But they would probably know the Greeks that are there, though.
Yeah, that is true. They
Guards.
would know everybody that was there.
Not that Greek guy.
Where Connor and Robert are, strangers that not everybody in the estate has necessarily seen them yet.
Wait, does Robert have red hair? Robert and Aiden?
Yes.
Yes.
Robert, basically ginger.
So
Those dudes
is
stick
Jaden.
out like a thumb.
Jaden's like redhead with freckles and everything.
That's 6 successes on a survival check, so.
That is 6 successes on a survival check for tracking.
You pick up his trail.
Is it a blood trail at this point? Because
There's a lot of footprints around. There's a lot of trails. But basically, Spruce picks up the scent. And then you're like, okay, there's the trail that scent that seems to be following. So then you can start tracking.
And she'll say, I'll be back. And we'll go with Spruce tracking.
Hey.
Sasha, your mother, Set, comes basically stomping up the stairs.
Hilarious hides behind Sasha.
Nassor was
hides
running down
behind
the steps,
Hilarious.
and then he comes running back out as she comes stomping up.
Probably at that point.
He's apologizing and whatnot. And, he doesn't know what happened.
See, are they by a window real quick?
Connor jumps out the window.
Well, y'all are outside at this point. This root cellar place is not accessible from inside the house. You had to get out of the
Okay.
house.
Yeah, at that point, Connor will look around. It's like, well, Jaden got dog got sent. I'm gonna go with him. I'm knocking his ass flat out this time.
Hey,
Looking at a set like, do you want us to go fetch him, or are you gonna go rip him a new one, or
Jaden's already gone, so
Connor just off to keep up.
she's giving mom that look of like, you want us to do this, or do you want
You
the pleasure
want-
of throwing the sandal at him?
nails.
This is your business. This is the business that brought you here. You can go after him if you wish.
Understood.
I
Do
would
you want
like to
us to bring
question
him
him, but
alive?
pardon.
We can arrange for him to be alive.
That would be fine, or you can deal with him however you wish.
Understood.
It's now.
She's still gonna be like, don't kill him, but break a leg or two.
She says this with Connor's long gone.
We said he was just gonna knock him flat. She didn't say it was going to murder him.
Jade, the trail is not super fresh. You're not having any trouble following it, but
He's been gone for a while.
he must have slipped out in the previous night some kind of way. There were no
Nobody
guards in the
checked
room
on
with
this
him.
morning?
There were guards outside who say they didn't see anything.
How well can you two track moving at speed?
Should be able to do it pretty fast. Scully, I need you to get off me. You hurt me. Thank you.
He'll pick the two of them up and he'll kick up speed.
Just holding Spruce's
Yeah,
noses to the ground,
well-
like, follow it!
Well, because the thing is, it just says I have no issue tracking. I don't face any increased difficulty.
You still have to make the baseline rolls to do it, but
Yeah, but like,
but,
I won't
Packed
have like
Earth
a
doesn't make it any harder.
Yeah, I don't have no complications to it.
Mm.
So
You could still flub a roll and lose it.
yeah, but
Theoretically, I guess he could still hit an area where he just flat didn't leave any track.
I mean, even if he were to hide in a body of water or fly, I can still track.
It's just something flat
So
out supernatural.
yeah, it's just
I've kind of
I
always,
can track with Worrying Hound. So
I've always imagined like the Witcher senses.
Yeah.
Never played those games.
Fair enough.
Well, I think I played, was it 2? But I literally did not get out of the tutorial area before I was like, ugh, crap.
Whicher one was.
The moon.
Oh,
I'll
wait.
talk about it. I'll talk about it after.
So-
Yeah, it might have been one. It
actually-
was an old one I bought off Steam. So.
actually, since I try to keep up with them, I get +1, so that 6 actually is a 7. So. And when
Alright.
I'm hunting, it's +1 as well.
You trace him back to the river.
He's going back down the ladder. Luckily, you can run on water.
We haven't left yet. Like,
No, we haven't.
No,
you,
the 3 of you are.
You
still
would have
there.
left by the time she actually gets to the river. But
He's going to mock Jesus, so
yeah, Connor would be keeping up with her just fine.
Well, no, Connor's carrying them going mock Jesus.
Well,
Oh.
I'm just saying, once we know he's gone to the river, like, once
Well-
all of us meet back up.
But
see-
would they have
Even-
kept up because Jaden left and Connor ran after Jaden?
Like, once they all regroup, unless those two go across the river without everyone
are.
else.
They
They're
are.
trying to catch him before he gets down the ladder.
Yeah.
yeah.
The whole thing is to make sure he does not escape.
Guys, we could use a sky barge.
Ask your mother.
Mom, can we have the keys for the sky barge? No.
She might say something. She might accept it.
No.
Wait, the
was
rest of you don't know where he's headed, so
No.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, if anything, If we knew who was heading, she could say, like, "Can we close it off?" But she doesn't know, so she's just gonna go the direction she saw everybody else go in.
Once you're a little ways away from a set, your parents fall in behind you.
I have no idea where.
I mean, they weren't like hiding out of sight. They were just, we all had run out.
Yeah.
They were standing outside the house, and when you take off, they take off after you.
It's going to be fun. Sasha's gonna put that ring on, just because she can.
Okay.
I don't know if it like attunes to her or anything, but she's like, you know what? The worst it could do is, oh damn, the worst it could do.
Oh, he'd squeeze my finger off. How about that? I'm now Sasha of the 9 fingers.
She didn't need that finger anyway.
It's like a ring of devour. He just ate the finger as you slid it over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what?
You are not of the House of Smith. Snap. No, you slide the ring on, no problem. Oh, it fits very nicely.
Okay.
Which is weird, because you could have sworn Smith's hand was a lot bigger than yours.
I had big sausage fingers, and it's fine. Okay. I guess we're all following after the speedy kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to, track them by basically going, running along. Did you say where the redheaded woman went? And they just keep pointing. The random folk that are out doing stuff just keep pointing.
Is there like a big crevice in the ground where Connor's going mock Jesus that we could just follow?
No, he didn't seem to turn up the earth much.
Okay.
Listen for the sonic boom and just go that direction.
This is a place of peace. There are no thunderclaps. There are no sonic booms.
So
Sound doesn't work like that here.
Sound is a lot slower here.
does the trail keep going past the river?
Jaden is able to pick it up on the other side.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna go top speed and just keep following the trail. He's basically using her as a divining rod.
The rest of you get to the river and realize that your friends must have already crossed.
Oh God, we're gonna have to swim again, aren't we?
Your father's like, or we could grab one of the rafts.
There were rafts?
Well, not on the far side, but there's.
Oh.
He takes you and
that
he leads you
works.
over to a side building. And the sword, when you were asking how y'all could leave, was like, we could, I can't remember if he called them rafts or if he called them barges. He said, he told you they had stuff that they could get you across the river with. Yeah.
Sasha probably figured they meant like barge, like God barge, but this works.
No. The ones they've got access to, they could cross the river to Pet, or go up or down the river to like other estates, perhaps. But they couldn't get up. They couldn't hop on one of those and get to the mortal realm.
Gotcha.
Besides, who would want to? Ick.
Gross, icky, mortal realm.
Where you sweat, you gotta go to the bathroom. It's all just disgusting.
Bodily functions are pretty gross, yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
So yeah, y'all quickly drag one of the rafts out and load up.
Smoochum's just swimming alongside it.
So the crossing is much easier this time.
Naturally.
Telarius, I'm sure, likes it a lot better.
They're just laying back on the raft like, oh, thank God, I don't have to
Grab a
swim in
paddle.
this.
So y'all get across. The river carries you down some, but y'all get across. No idea where your buddies are at this point. But more or less the way to walk, walk back the way you came.
Basically the direction we would go. Can't catch up with the Roadrunner there, but, we can get pretty close.
It's been gone since last night, though. could already be down the ladder.
I doubt it. It took us what feels like.
What feels like.
Uh-huh. For him, it probably still feels the same way.
Time is slippery, but she just keeps moving.
It's wibbly wobbly.
Time is wibbly wobbly and timey wimey.
Yeah, so really, without the ability to track, the rest of you are just kind of wandering the general direction you think the ladder is.
Yeah.
Hope you don't get lost in pit and wind up somewhere weird.
That would never happen.
You know, some
Wait,
kind of way,
wait,
we seem to have stepped out into Nephilim. I don't know what's going on.
Wait, question.
Mhm.
Smoochums is a spawn of Amut.
Indeed.
And those creatures are normally the ones that eat the hearts of those deemed unworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And in the description of him, it says they are domesticated as small pets and used by Scions to track sinful hearts in the world. Would he be able to track Fritz Lloyd Smith?
He could certainly make the attempt.
I'm totally down for that. So tracking would there be any additional bonus for tracking a sinful heart, or just these 7 dice?
You're assuming he's sinful. He's trying to help humanity.
He's absolutely sinful. Don't give me that.
He said he lied at least. He said he was going to wait here for his judgment and he left. So he is at least a liar.
That's a sin.
I think he just said he wasn't going to resist you. And he didn't try to get away, physically resist you in any way.
I'm still rolling 7d10. Ooh, 2 10s.
Only
Alright.
two.
So that's 2 successes. Reroll the 10s.
Three
That's
Three
one
successes.
more
successes.
Smoochums picks up the scent, picks up the trail.
No, he could do that.
Go, little fella, go!
She's like,
He
"Off
takes
you
off
go
with
again."
hippo speed, which
What
is
is that
actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Those are some scary SOBs.
Are you gonna wrap your arms around him as Smoochums is going swimming?
Well, yeah, they're across the river at this point, so
We're
it's
across.
Okay.
Either way, they're still terrifying.
but Smoochums is locked on. So you take off, and it's pretty much the same journey you had getting here.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you're walking for a couple days. As far as Connor and Jaden, despite the speed that you feel like you're moving, you don't seem to catch up with him, and you don't seem to get back to the ladder any faster than how you walked before. Much the same as when you tried to use the staff to get up the ladder quicker.
The
It's like
journey
speed is not a factor in this journey, sort of thing.
So do we theoretically catch up to a blurring mass of like?
No, Jaden, Spruce, and Connor eventually get to the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
No sign of sweetness around this time.
Aww.
Well, he doesn't live here. He just comes out and suns on a rock every now and then. Sometimes you just want to get out and walk through the desert and, lay on a rock.
That's a full mood.
So y'all arrive at the ladder. Do y'all immediately start down?
Does the trail end at the ladder?
It does.
Alright. I'm gonna go down. You get the others.
It's not like I'm going to be any faster.
You like pull up 5 seconds later.
It's about 15 minutes later because, y'all had to run and try to catch up with him.
Get the raft
at the river. Then you had to get the raft, so that time seems to have a factor. It's like once you got across the river, then time got weirder.
Can this ladder even close on us?
Don't know
Question:
about
We took the blood away from him. Would he be
Yep.
just stuck going down like I was, trying to go
But you
up?
weren't stuck going down. You were stuck trying to go up.
But would he be stuck
Yeah.
going down
It's not
without
going
the
down. We don't know.
blood?
You don't know. On this end, maybe the ladder's always magical. If only you had an occultist with you that could tell you this sort of things.
If only.
But you split the party.
Give it about 10 minutes.
But yeah, if y'all stand around talking about it for just, for like I said, 10 or 15 minutes, or or if you send Connor back, he'll quickly run into everybody else. It just really comes down to, Jaden, do you try to go down the ladder before everybody else gets here?
She said she was.
All right.
No, she stopped to talk, to
Oh, okay.
ask.
Never mind.
So does she try it, or does she wait for him to go back and get everybody?
She's gonna wait.
Okay. 10 or 15 minutes later, Connor runs off to get him. Connor, you quickly meet up with everybody. 10 or 15 minutes later, y'all are all at the ladder. Smoochums walks right up to the ladder and looks down.
You.
And that
But he's got, cat feet and hippo feet, so he ain't trying the ladder by himself.
I'm carrying the fucking animals, aren't I?
I will get you a lot of peaches when we get back.
I can try to carry. I can try to carry one of them. If that'll help.
Is this thing closed going down, Sasha?
Yeah, she's gonna do some occult bullshit.
Oh.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Anybody can access the ladders from this end.
We should be fine. Unfortunately, he might have known that as well.
They are effectively part of the world on this end.
Fun.
The magical BS he had to do on the other end was to get the physical artifact of a ladder kind of linked up with.
Connect the DSO.
Right.
Can he close the ladder on us when we get stuck here?
3 successes? Not that you know of.
I don't
You
believe
can't think of any way he could do that.
Right.
have
So
the
I'm
time.
carrying the animals down. He turns to the parents. You two should probably go back.
No, we can't let Sasha go alone.
we know if you can come back.
It's a risk we'll have to take.
I don't think they want to come back.
And Omar's not along with what she says.
Okay, next question. How badly is a set going to be pissed that you left?
We are not her favorite servants. So it might be...
Keyword there. Servant.
She might have intended this all along.
Omar's not it. She's very clever. It's the sort of thing she could do.
Maybe not the escape, but the eventual return. Either way, it's a bridge we will cross or a ladder we will climb down after we have climbed down this ladder. It's my mother getting angry, not your father, so I'll pull some, I'm your favorite, and she's already like climbing down the ladder.
Your favorite? Are you kidding? I've got like 4 other of you over here.
Connor
I'm your favorite
grabs
talking to right now.
grabs Spruce on his back, smoochums under one arm, going down the ladder.
The animals look as unhappy about this arrangement as Connor.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Falling back up the
Yeah,
symptoms. Behave.
You know, Robert offered to at least try to carry one of them. He would at least try to carry the dog.
Yeah.
Because
Ever
that
decided how
problem.
big these kids are.
Very.
Did we decide they were like Rottweiler or maybe Mastiff size?
Yeah.
I say Spruce is
Spruce is a massive sized dog.
That's a big dog.
a big boy.
She will, when he gets big enough, we'll be riding him into battle.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you do.
Reason-
Moochum's is more like roly-poly corgi beefiness than dog, but still pretty
Mhm.
big. That
But
it does-
Connor with epic strength.
And, with epic dexterity, you could just throw one over each shoulder and not even use your hands on the way down.
Basically.
Grip with your toes.
Toe grip.
I have to take his shoes off though.
Now imagining Connor like walking down this bitch sideways.
Fucking hell, I completely forgot I could do that with epic dexterity.
Yeah, you can.
I can move up and down vertical surfaces without any handholds with no complication.
So you spent what felt like days, if not weeks, doing it the old-fashioned way.
He's
Yeah.
grumbling the whole time.
Like, he literally pauses partway through and goes, "Hey, Sasha,
Yes.
if I run down the ladder, how much trouble would I be in?"
I don't think you would go any faster. I mean, you guys were running and we were 15 minutes behind you.
Fuck it, this is easier. Pulls Spruce off one each arm. He just turns around and starts running down the ladder.
It doesn't let you get there any faster, but at least you have some wind on you. Spruce's various tongues are lolling out of his mouth. He seems to be having a better time this go around.
Bruce
I
enjoys
can
it.
see that.
But anyway, it's 9:19, so I think we made it for the little bit of late we got started. So we will wrap here as y'all start down the ladder.
All right.
Next week should be the wrap up of this story arc.
Woo.
As you resolve the whole Fritz Lloyd Smith thing.
It's like Fritz Lloyd, you bastard.
I know some of the folks watching already had to leave, but I want to thank everybody that's been in the chat tonight.
Agreed.
All our viewers. If you like what we do here, we'll be back next week. If you're in the mood for
Unless
some
the
D&D,
apocalypse happens.
yes. Unless the plan is to be back here, God's willing.
Unless like the internet goes out or
But
it'd have to be the story guide's internet.
and if anybody watching is into D&D, you can tune back in. Let's see, is it Maddie's game is Thursday, and that is a Knight's Ransom. The Stolen Cities are Saturday. And then Heath is, of course, running the Troubleshooters on Monday. And all of these games are homebrew 5th edition.
I think at some point, not this coming Monday, the Monday after that, Heath is running a one shot on his Monday slot.
Okay. Is that the
but
Mysteries of something or other?
Yeah.
That may be going back to that first campaign setting he used. I forget. I'd have to check the names. But anyway, we got lots of D&D on this channel. And then next Tuesday we'll be back with The World at War, Scion 2nd edition.
Let's say, I think that's the world where I ended up playing a dragon.
I don't know, because he had the first one, then he had the one you were in, and then he had the Troubleshooters.
Oh, no, I was in them both.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a lizard folk druid that was technically a blue dragon.
Oh, I do remember that now. Yeah. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Everybody wave before I turn the screen off.